Chapter 1495. Cheers. At this moment, in the Mu family, Lin Xian, Mu Qingya, Mu Feifei, Qin Yijuan, and the other two families gathered together. Xiao Xian, I really have to thank you. If it weren't for you, my Mu family would be finished. Now the country values my Mu family so much. This can be considered as bringing honor to my Mu family. Mu Hao's face was flushed. Oh, Uncle Mu, you're too kind. Hey, you don't have to be modest. How can you be so serious? It's Qingya's fortune to be able to find a boyfriend like you. It's our fortune as well. Mu Hao said with satisfaction. Damn. The more he looked at Lin Xian, the more satisfied he was. Damn it. This granddaughter of mine doesn't have such good fortune. You say, if she finds me a grandson-in-law in the future, even if he is a dragon, it will be difficult for me to be satisfied. Qin Zhangwo took a sip of wine and sighed. Grandpa, what are you talking about? Qin Yijuan rolled her eyes. Ha ha ha, I'm telling the truth. There are many people in the world who are richer and more handsome than little Xian. But in terms of ability, I feel that no one in the world is as good as him. Humph. Qin Yijuan muttered. There must be. There is? Tell me about it. Those ancient martial arts families. Qin Yijuan said. They pondered for a moment. Brother-in-law. Mu Feifei kicked Lin Xian under the table. What? Brother-in-law? Do you think you will be too timing or have several girlfriends in the future? Lin Xian. Feifei, what are you talking about? Go and get the rice. Well, Mu Feifei pouted and went to get the rice. Then she came over and said, I'm telling the truth. Aren't all men like this? Especially brother-in-law. When he's rich, powerful, and famous, he might even abuse big sister. He might even get other girls to do it with big sister. Everyone. I didn't teach my daughter well. I didn't teach my daughter well. Don't blame me. Mu Hao said awkwardly. Are you itching for a beating again? Zhang Ting glared at her. Mu Feifei quickly shrank her head and lowered it. She looked like a good girl, but in fact, that's right. When she put down her slippers, her feet were rubbing against Lin Xian's legs under the table. Lin Xian. F*C. What was this sister-in-law trying to do? She was seducing him. Lin Xian knew that his sister-in-law knew that he and Mu Qingya were pretending to be a couple. Could it be nice? Tonight I'll go to my sister-in-law's room. His sister-in-law was the most fragrant. On Lin Xian's left was Mu Qingya, and on his right was Mu Feifei. Lin Xian, what other drugs will you be able to develop by then? Qin Yuan asked. Quite a lot. As for the specifics, I might need some time to observe and research them. Actually, Lin Xian mainly wanted to see if there were any medicinal herbs on Earth. Well, you can represent the Mu group at the press conference tomorrow. Mu Hao said. Lin Xian shook his head. I won't. Let Qingya do it. I won't do such a thing. Okay. Lin Xian then put his hand on the table, and then on his sister-in-law's smooth thigh. Mu Feifei. Wow. What a hooligan. What a hooligan. I just casually seduced you. And this person was so presumptuous. Although he and her sister were pretending to be a couple, they were sleeping in the same room after all. This person really dared to touch her? D*M in it, D*M in it. Lin Xian didn't think it was his fault. You seduced him here yourself. Smooth, so smooth. Mu Feifei put her hand down intentionally or unintentionally, and then pressed Lin Xian's hand. Eat. Okay. Only then did Lin Xian retract his hand. Lin Xian didn't notice that this scene was seen by Mu Qingya. She didn't see anything at first. She was a little further away from the table. When she caught a glimpse of Lin Xian's hand on her sister's thigh, she was shocked. Was her sister in a relationship with Lin Xian? She didn't know. If so, how could she sleep in the same room as Lin Xian? Wasn't that D*M in it? D*M in it? D*M in hooligan? She knew it. After the meal, the Qin family left. Before Qin Yijuan left, Lin Xian gave her a flirtatious look. Idiot. This was what Qin Yijuan mouthed to Lin Xian before she left. Of course, idiot didn't necessarily mean that. Many people who were close to each other liked to call each other idiots. Uncle, Auntie will rest first. Well, rest early. There's a press conference tomorrow. The whole country and even the world will pay attention to it. Don't let anything go wrong. Zhang Ting said. Lin Xian then took Mu Qingya's hand and walked to her fragrant room. As soon as they entered her room, Mu Qingya shook off Lin Xian's hand. That's enough. Now that my parents believe that we're a couple, they won't come to my room to peek. Either you sleep in your room, or you sleep in my room. You sleep on the floor, and I'll sleep on the bed. Mu Qingya said coldly. What's wrong? You were sleeping so soundly before. Lin Xian leaned over and hugged her slender waist. No, to be precise, his hand was almost on her butt. In the past few days, Mu Qingya had been used to Lin Xian doing whatever he wanted to her, but she was inexplicably not angry. Strange. But now she was angry. She didn't know why she was angry. Was it because she saw Lin Xian and her sister being so flirtatious when they were eating? What's the situation between you and Fei Fei? Mu Qingya took Lin Xian's hand away and asked. Ah, nothing. I saw it when we were eating. Mu Qingya said lightly. She didn't blame Mu Feifei. After all, she knew that her sister knew that she and Lin Xian were pretending. If she liked Lin Xian, it was not a problem. She seduced me. Your sister is so flirtatious. Lin Xian sniffed aggrievedly. Impossible. Although Feifei is playful, she still knows her limits. And it was your hand on her leg. Lin Xian said. It's true. I swear, when we were eating, she took off her shoes and rubbed my leg. She also quietly pulled my hand and put it on her leg. You sleep below. Mu Qingya said and took off her coat. She didn't believe it. She and Feifei had known each other for so many years. Feifei most likely used her feet to seduce Lin Xian. As for what happened after that, it was absolutely impossible. At least it was impossible now. Bastard Lin Xian. Go to hell. The night had passed just like that. Given Lin Xian's shamelessness, he would definitely be hugging his elegant and fragrant wife as he slept. Chapter 1496. Mu Qingya was puzzled. She was clearly someone who hated. Bah, she couldn't say that she hated boys. She was a person who paid special attention to her reputation and integrity. Not to mention other things, even if she was in a relationship, it would be difficult for her to let the man take advantage of her, because she wasn't used to it. That was her feeling. She didn't know if it would change in the future because she had never met a boy she liked. She didn't know if she would change because of the boy she liked. But now, she was kissed, touched, and slept with by a man she had only known for a few days. Although they didn't do anything too outrageous, she was always in his arms when she woke up in the morning. She didn't know if he did it at night or she did it herself. She wasn't sure. But this was beyond her tolerance. But she wasn't angry. She even slowly accepted it. Oh my God. Was she still Mu Qingya? Did she fall in love with Lin Xian, who was 1 or 2 years younger than her? But to be honest, they were indeed fated. And Lin Xian's ability was something she had never seen before. This morning, Mu Qingya woke up before Lin Xian. She was quite nervous because the press conference was going to be held today. Then, she was in Lin Xian's arms again. Lin Xian was hugging her again. His hands didn't move. He was just hugging her. They weren't boyfriend and girlfriend yet, but she wasn't angry. Wait. Was he sure he didn't move? Nai, why did it hurt? Hey, am I handsome? Lin Xian blurted out all of a sudden. Mu Qingya. Whoosh, she hurriedly sat up and tidied her hair. I'm going to wash up. You can go to the press conference later. That's not important. The important thing is, can we really be a couple? Lin Xian sat up and looked at Mu Qingya. Mu Qingya. I'm going to wash up. She quickly walked away. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Oh, little Qingya seemed to be moved. Hey, I'm so handsome. Lin Xian sighed. His heart was tired. Lin Xian walked into the bathroom to wash up with Mu Qingya and pinched her butt. Mu Qingya. You. Still not used to it. Lin Xian grinned. Bastard. I like it when you call me that. Mu Qingya was helpless. Give me some time. When the time comes, I'll help you and Uncle Mu cure your heart disease. You have to be careful. Although your heart hasn't relapsed yet, I've taken a look. It may be on the verge of relapsing. During this period, don't overwork yourself and don't get angry. Lin Xian said. Mu Qingya saw Lin Xian's rare serious look and nodded. Thank you. You're my girlfriend. You don't have to thank me. I'm not. But you've already slept with me for a few days. We've even kissed. I've done your nai-nai many times. Mu Qingya. Bastard. You really took advantage of the fact that I was asleep. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. I don't care. Anyway, you're mine. Mu Qingya was dumbfounded. Lin Xian really did Didn't that mean that except for the last step, she had already, damn it. Why didn't she wake up? Did she really sleep so soundly? I feel so good. Let's go out for breakfast. Mu Qingya stood there in a daze. Then she quietly pulled down her pajamas in front of the mirror. Bastard. There were scratches on her pajamas. She knew it. Why did it hurt? This person, She really didn't know what to do. Was she really going to be his girlfriend? Actually, she didn't seem to be particularly against it. She just didn't know what to do. Mu Qingya took a deep breath and put on makeup in the bathroom. She didn't usually put on makeup. At most, she would put on lipstick. Her skin was still very good, and she was naturally beautiful. But today was the press conference. Today, she might be seen by the whole world. Of course, she had to put on makeup. Click, Lin Xian opened the door. Mu Feifei quickly jumped away like a thief. What are you doing? No. I just happened to pass by. Mu Feifei chuckled. Are you eavesdropping? Why would I? Lin Xian smiled. She was actually eavesdropping. The soundproofing of the door was good, but it wasn't so good that she couldn't hear anything. She thought that her sister and Lin Xian were pretending, but it didn't mean that they couldn't be real. She wanted to listen. If Lin Xian and her sister did that kind of thing early in the morning, wouldn't she be able to hear it? She didn't hear anything but her sister screamed. Sister-in-law, do you like me? Lin Xian looked at Mu Feifei with a smile. Mu Feifei. Well, it wasn't that she didn't like him, but she didn't like him either. She couldn't fall in love with someone so easily. However, it was obvious that Lin Xian was very powerful. Girls really liked powerful boys, and she was relatively rebellious. She liked this kind of boy more. But I like the kind of boy who is good at fighting. As for you, it's useless if you're not handsome and have good medical skills. I don't like you. That's right. Mu Feifei was simply curious and had a good impression of Lin Xian. She swore that she would find a boyfriend who was good at fighting in the future. He was like a hero. In that case, well, she could give him all her postures. Nice. Okay. Lin Xian shrugged. Hey brother-in-law, did you and my sister become real? Mu Feifei asked in a low voice. Let me tell you a secret. There are scratches on your sister's nai-nai. Lin Xian walked down after saying that. Wow. Mu Feifei's little mouth was wide open. Liar. Then she didn't believe it. It was impossible. Her sister was the most old-fashioned. She even thought that if her sister was in a relationship, she wouldn't have sex with a man for 2 years. It was the 21st century. Her sister's thinking was really amazing. If it were her, as long as she liked it, well, she would do it on the first day. But she hadn't been in a relationship so far because she really hadn't met the kind of boy she wanted. The kind who was super good at fighting and could easily win against many people. Especially the kind who could hit the table and send chopsticks flying, and then pierce the opponent's hand. Wow. So handsome. She liked watching this kind of drama. No, let's go and see. Mu Feifei opened the door and went into Mu Qingya's room. She first took a look. She swore that the two must be sleeping in the same bed or even in the same bed. Sister. Mu Feifei walked to Mu Qingya's side. What's the matter? Mu Qingya didn't know that danger was coming. Chapter 1497. Mu Feifei's eyes were fixed on Mu Qingya's private part. Sister, your pajamas are made of good material. Mu Feifei put her hand on her pajamas. Mu Qingya put on her lipstick and looked at herself in the mirror. Then she said lightly, didn't I buy it with you? Well, yes. Swish. Then she pulled Mu Qingya's loose pajamas off and quickly pulled down her bra. Wow. Mu Feifei clearly saw something. Lin Xian didn't lie to her. That meant that big sister and Lin Xian's relationship had really become real. Wow. Lin Xian really became her brother-in-law. You're crazy again. Mu Qingya knocked on Mu Feifei's head. Sister, were you pinched by my brother-in-law? Mu Qingya. Get out. Well. Ha ha ha. My brother-in-law is so strong. Ha ha ha. Mu Feifei laughed and ran out. Mu Qingya. She was convinced. What kind of people were they? One was so shameless, and the other was so naughty. Oh no. Now that his little sister had seen it. Brother-in-law, you're amazing. Mu Feifei ran downstairs and sat next to Lin Xian. Lin Xian was eating breakfast, Mu Hao was drinking tea on the sofa, and Zhang Ting was busy in the kitchen. What's amazing? I just took off my sister's clothes. I saw it. Lin Xian. Amazing. Lin Xian gave her a thumbs up. No, no, no. Brother-in-law, you're amazing. My sister has so many suitors, and so many outstanding men, but she didn't agree to any of them. Brother-in-law, you've only known my sister for a few days, but you're already amazing. Lin Xian smiled and said, after all, I'm sleeping in the same room as her. If I can't do that, then I'm too weak, right? Yes, my brother-in-law is amazing. Brother-in-law, can you lend me some money? Mu Feifei said aggrievedly. You still lack money? Previously, when such a big incident happened to the Mu group, I sold my car to give the money to my sister. Now I don't even have 3,000 yuan on me. It's not even enough to go out for a meal. Brother-in-law, good brother-in-law, I'm your sister-in-law. You have to pamper me in the future. Lin Xian. Sister, I don't even have 100 yuan on me. Really, you can ask your sister for it. Mu Feifei. You're not a competent brother-in-law. People have already said that a competent brother-in-law has to dote on his sister-in-law. Only then can she help him to guide her sister. A competent brother-in-law needs to get his sister-in-law into bed. Lin Xian said as he drank a mouthful of porridge. Mu Feifei. Wow. Stinky hooligan. Damn pervert. Shameless. What are you doing so early in the morning? I'm telling you, you have to go to school today. Zhang Ting came out of the kitchen and said to Mu Feifei. No, it's boring. I have an appointment with someone to go to the haunted house today. Mu Feifei said. You. When can you learn from your sister? Zhang Ting shook her head. No, I'm so tired. Lin Xian said with a smile. Auntie, in fact, everyone has their own choices. Feifei was born in a rich family. There are some procedures that she doesn't have to go through. Those are what ordinary people have to do. Of course, it's right to do better, but I think the most important thing is to be happy. As long as you don't break the law and don't do anything wrong, I don't think anything else is wrong. Yes, yes, brother-in-law is right. Mu Feifei said yes, this brother-in-law is not bad. Xiao Xian, what you said does make sense, but who doesn't want their child to be better? Happiness is indeed important, so we don't force Feifei too much. Yes, yes, mother is right. Mu Feifei nodded repeatedly. Lin Xian. This sister-in-law is really, however, Lin Xian felt that this sister-in-law should have brought all the happiness to this family. In fact, it was necessary for a team and a family to have such a character. She was active, lively, and funny. Such a person was quite good. She felt a little like Lu Yufan. But now Lin Xian suddenly realized something. He had to go back in 3 months. If he didn't go back, he would be annihilated. In other words, Lin Xian would disappear from the earth again in 3 months. What about the people here? Tell them the truth. Lin Xian didn't know if he could say it, and he didn't know what the consequences would be, and he didn't know if they would believe him. If he left, Lin Xian felt that he should be able to come back, but he wasn't sure when he could come back. 1 year? 2 years? 5 years? 10 years? He wasn't sure. He knew that before he reached the heavenly Tao realm, no, it would be difficult for him to come back before he reached the heavenly Tao realm at least 5 stars. And the advancement in the heavenly Tao realm was extremely difficult. He was confident that he could come back because of the system, but he wasn't sure of the time. Could they wait for an unknown amount of time? Perhaps they could, but Lin Xian felt that it was too unfair to them. This was troublesome. He shouldn't have been on Earth, or at least, he shouldn't have shown mercy on Earth. But F***K. Everyone would trigger different missions. Last night's mission required him to obtain enough system points to go back, or he would die. And the mission he triggered left him with no choice but to communicate with the girl's Sai. What should he do now? In fact, if Lin Xian could figure out the connection between the God's Awakening Door, Earth and Planet Azure, there was actually a solution. But could he figure out the relationship between them? Lin Xian felt that there was no problem. But there was still the problem. Time. How long would he need to spend? When would he have the capital? Lin Xian didn't know. Sigh. Hey brother-in-law, why are you in a daze? Mu Feifei waved her hand in front of Lin Xian's eyes. Ah. Lin Xian came back to his senses and shook his head. Nothing, I was just thinking about the past. The past? What is it? Mu Feifei asked. Nothing. Lin Xian shook his head. Pfft, it must be his ex-girlfriend. Mu Feifei said. What's in your head all day long? If you're envious that your sister has found a boyfriend, then hurry up and find one for me. Don't end up like your sister, and end up going on blind dates. But I have a condition. This boyfriend has to be someone like Xiao Xian. I can't say that he's more capable than him, but his character has to be guaranteed. Pfft, who said that brother-in-law has a good character? He even touched. What? Ahem. Lin Xian coughed dryly. Right. Mu Feifei suddenly remembered that her brother-in-law and sister were no longer pretending. He even touched her thigh when they were eating. Wow. Chapter 1498. Lin Xian and Mu Qingye went to the Mu group. Zhang Ting, Mu Hao, and the others would also go, but they would only go later. When the time comes, the Qin family and the others would also go. At this moment, there was a sea of people outside the Mu group. There might be thousands of reporters, and even foreign reporters. In addition to these thousands of reporters, there might be hundreds of thousands of people. They all came to join in the fun. Of course, some of them were really here for themselves, or their family members had cancer. They traveled thousands of miles just to be the first to come here. Of course, because of this matter, there might be more than 300 police officers here to maintain order. There might even be some people sent by the country here. In short, today was very special and very important. Moreover, they had to protect the people of the Mu group, because international battles were invisible. To be honest, if other countries wanted to send people to assassinate them, wouldn't that be normal? Although generally speaking, they would not blatantly make a move here. Protecting their safety was still the most important thing. Everyone don't crowd. Enter the Mu group in an orderly manner. The Mu group's conference hall is ready. Everyone can have a seat. There is no need to crowd. Zhang Yang personally maintained order there, letting the thousands of reporters enter the huge Mu group conference hall in an orderly manner. Of course, he also had the responsibility of checking whether those people had dangerous items on them. Guns, grenades, C4 and so on. He must pay attention to them. If someone asked terrorists to do it, wouldn't it blow up? In the conference hall, there were too many big shots, reporters, and even Zhou Jiuhe and a few people sitting in the crowd in a low-key manner. Elder Zhou. A man walked to his side and whispered in his ear. Country's people were found outside and have been dealt with. Zhou Jiuhe smiled and nodded. His eyes kept looking forward. Okay, sit down. This subordinate will go and take a look again. It's better to be careful. And that's fine too. Lin Tian and some others also came to the scene of the press conference. Young master, the Lu family and the Feng family also came. Lin Tian glanced at them. Let them come. They are all here to join in the fun. To be precise, they were here to see if they could work with the Mu group. Young master, they definitely know that we made a move. What do you think we should do if, when the Mu group grows stronger, what should we do if they retaliate? Counterattack? What's the Mu group? It's just a business family with a history of 100 years. If it weren't for Mu Qingye, the Mu family would only be a small billionaire that just broke the 100 million mark. How could he fight back against the Lin family? Even if he has the capital, she doesn't have the guts. Lin Tian coldly snorted and said. In the hall, other than the reporters and big shots, there were also a lot of big stars. One of them was the main spokesperson, a popular starlet invited by the country Chu Xinxin. She was backstage. She came mainly to help host the press conference because her popularity was too high. She was equivalent to an ex-Ion's popularity. Their career lines were quite similar. After all, she represented popularity. With her presence, she could also attract the attention of those young people. Moreover, she had a lot of influence in the world, and would also attract the attention of many people abroad. There was another girl with Chu Xinxin. Xinxin, you're so beautiful. Chu Xinxin dressed herself up. After all, the scale of today's press conference was greater than any other in history. A global press conference. She was also the host, so she felt very excited. It's okay. You're also very beautiful. Don't worry, you'll definitely be popular. Chu Xinxin looked at the beautiful girl beside her with a smile. I will do my best. The one who spoke was Wang Xintong. That's right, she also triggered a mission. The mission she triggered gave her a headache. She had already completed a few missions before, and they were relatively simple. However, the most important mission was now. The number of fans exceeded 10 million. Wang Xintong cried. The number of fans exceeded 10 million? She could only try to become a star. If the number of fans reached 10 million, they would basically be close to or an A-list star, right? Not necessarily. Some stars were short-lived. A drama would be popular for a period of time, and the number of fans would skyrocket by tens of millions, but there would be no follow-up. However, she only wanted 10 million real fans. No matter how long it lasted, no matter if the fans would drop or not, as long as the number of fans exceeded 10 million, the mission would be completed. She could go on to the next one. Then, she found a way to join an entertainment company, which was the company that Chu Xinxin was in. She didn't have much of a resume, but she was beautiful, so the company accepted her. Wang Xintong came into contact with this world very quickly, because it was basically the same as their world. However, she had joined the company for 3 days. She had no choice. Until now, she hadn't shown her face or acted in a drama. Yes, she had never acted in a drama before. She didn't have any acting skills. Even if there was a drama, she wouldn't be accepted. Moreover, she couldn't be qualified to act because she didn't have any acting skills. Wang Xintong felt that she might have taken the wrong path. 10 million fans. She didn't have to be a star. Live broadcasts, short videos, etc. Anyway, no matter which one it was, she had a headache. She felt that she might fail the mission. Now her identity was more like Chu Xinxin's assistant. Fortunately, Chu Xinxin was a very good person and took good care of her. However, what made Wang Xintong a little? No, what shocked her was that this world actually had songs arranged by Lin Xian. The names were the same, but the accompaniment was slightly different. The lyrics were the same. She was really shocked. Therefore, she didn't know whether this world was a virtual existence in the God's awakening door, or a real existence. She leaned towards the former. The people here were all fake. They were all data. Otherwise, why would there be songs that were the same as in reality? It might have been recorded when the big data was recorded. Xintong, I'll bring you to host later. Chu Xinxin said. No. I don't know how to. Chu Xinxin said. Isn't your wish to have more than 10 million fans? You're so beautiful. You don't have to do anything else. This press conference is broadcasted live worldwide. You're so beautiful. If you host it with me, you should attract a lot of fans. Wang Xintong bit her lip. Here, there are lyrics here. Try to memorize them. You don't have to say the exact same words. When the time comes, your answers will be similar. Thank you. Chu Xinxin smiled and didn't say anything. Hey, I'm going to see the big stars. Suddenly a voice came. Come on, brother-in-law. You're just going to see the beauties. You're old and lecherous. Mu Feifei followed Lin Xian eagerly. Chapter 1499. Wang Xintong felt that the voice was strangely familiar. In the backstage, Lin Xian and Mu Feifei walked over. Brother-in-law, wait for me. Lin Xian and Mu Feifei walked over. Wow. As expected of a superstar who suddenly became famous in such a short time. She was so beautiful. So tender. Wang Xintong stood by the side and saw Lin Xian. Then her small mouth opened wide. Lin Xian turned his head and looked at her. Lin Xian. Damn. Lin Xian was shocked when he saw Wang Xintong. He never expected to meet Wang Xintong here. Although it was easy for them to meet if they became famous on the internet, it was not that easy to become famous on the internet. Moreover, it took time. Therefore, they could only rely on fate to meet each other. Wow, he really did not expect that little cutie Xintong would be here. Lin Xian. Although they had not seen each other for a short time, they really missed each other. Most importantly, they met in such a big place. They were really happy. Lin Xian hugged Wang Xintong and spun her around, making Wang Xintong blush. Mu Feifei. Take a picture, take a picture. She hurriedly took out her phone and snapped a series of photos. Scumbag. If this was not a scumbag, then what was? He had already done it with her sister. This person had another woman outside. Moreover, it seemed that they had known each other for a long time. In other words, her sister was a mistress? Wow. Amazing. Chu Xinxin was stunned. She had not known Wang Xintong for long. When she said that she had a boyfriend, she was curious and wanted a photo. She could not take it out awkwardly, and did not even have his contact information. She found it strange, but now it seemed that she was right. My goodness, did you come here to become a superstar? Lin Xian pinched Wang Xintong's little face. Wang Xintong nodded and then whispered, Mission. F***CK. This mission was truly admirable. What was he doing? Make you angry? 10 million fans. Lin Xian scratched his head. It's not that difficult. Ugh. Hey brother-in-law, what do you mean? Mu Feifei comes over and kicks Lin Xian. A Chu Xinxin. What? There was even someone who called him brother-in-law? What a jerk. Shoo shoo shoo, go play in the sand. Lin Xian waved his hand. You. Wait here, I'll tell my sister. Mu Feifei snorted and walked away angrily. Was he not afraid? Aren't you worried? I'm convinced. Come, tell me what happened. Lin Xian pulled Wang Xintong to a corner. Chu Xinxin stood there in a daze. Lin Xian chatted a lot with Wang Xintong. What about you? Wang Xintong asked. Me? It's a lot more complicated. I spent my first day in the detention center. Lin Xian shrugged helplessly. Huh? Then what mission did you trigger? Several. Currently, I'm trying to earn 100 billion. After I earn that, I can return to the mysterious heaven realm. Lin Xian. Me too. As long as I have 10 million fans, I can return to the mysterious heaven realm. Wang Xintong nodded. Did you meet anyone else? No. Wang Xintong shook her head. Well, show your face today. If they see you, they should contact you. Lin Xian said. Okay. Then I'll go memorize the script, eh? Lin Xian, did you do this? Lin Xian nodded. I knew it. Wang Xintong stuck out her pink tongue and walked to the side. Sister. Mu Feifei ran to another room. Mu Qingya was sitting in front of the mirror, and a makeup artist was helping her do a little last touch. What? Well, Mu Feifei hesitated. Should she tell her? If she told her, wouldn't it make her look bad? But she was his biological sister. Also, that Lin Xian was not afraid at all. It was so annoying. Humph. Forget it. Let's not talk about it. You're so beautiful today. Mu Feifei said with a smile. Are you short of money? Yes. Wait a few days. Spend less in the next few days. Mu Qingya said lightly. Oh, okay. Mu Feifei then ran away. Hey brother-in-law, I'll give you one last chance. Give me the money, or I'll tell my sister. Mu Feifei stretched out her hand to Lin Xian. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. You. Mu Feifei stared at Lin Xian angrily. Humph, I'll tell my sister after the press conference. Mu Feifei said unhappily. Press conference? Is your sister President Mu? Chu Xinxin asked in surprise. Yes. Then Chu Xinxin looked at Lin Xian. So he's President Mu's boyfriend? Yes. President Mu's boyfriend is two-timing? Yes. Lin Xian. Chu Xinxin looked at Lin Xian in surprise. What a beast. President Mu was so beautiful and elegant. He had already gotten such a girl, but he was still two-timing. It was definitely not because of Xian Tong. Xian Tong was very innocent. She could tell that she must have been deceived by this bad man. You must tell President Mu, Chu Xinxin said indignantly. Of course, unless you give me the money. Mu Feifei stretched out her hand to Lin Xian again. Chu Xinxin. Was she really his sister? I won't give you the money. Go eat dirt. You. Didn't you say that sister-in-law is the most fragrant? Didn't you say that you would be good to sister-in-law? Mu Feifei put her hands on her waist and stared at Lin Xian. Wang Xintong sat not far away and blinked her eyes. No way. Lin Xian hooked up with another girl here? But wasn't this a virtual world? If he hooked up with another girl, what would he do in the future? Or did he just want to have some fun? It shouldn't be, right? Although Lin Xian was a pervert, he was still a very responsible person. There was a sound outside. Xian Tong, it's time for us to go on stage. Coming. Wang Xintong lifted her skirt and ran over. Lin Xian, I'll go on stage to host. I heard that it can increase the exposure. Lin Xian smiled and nodded. Go ahead. Yes. The press conference officially began. Chu Xinxin and Wang Xintong, the two beautiful girls, were the hosts of the opening ceremony and received a lot of praise. Bad guy. Mu Feifei still had a great deal of resentment towards Lin Xian. Slap. Lin Xian slapped her but with the back of his hand. Mu Feifei. I'll tell my sister. She pursed her lips and ran away. Well, when she took off her pants, she would show her sister the handprint on her butt. Facts speak louder than words. Just you wait. Sister, let me tell you just now. If you have anything to say it later. Mu Qingya took a deep breath and walked away quickly. Lin Xian came over and smiled. Slap. Lin Xian, you pervert. Chapter 1500. Outside, a group of big shots was waiting for Mu Qingya. Wang Xintong and Chu Xinxin were still hosting, but they were already at the end. The hosting of the two young and beautiful girls still attracted a lot of attention. It was just that the most attention now was naturally that kind of medicine. Xinxin, you're the spokesperson for this drug. Do you have anything to say about it? A reporter couldn't help but ask. Chu Xinxin was helpless. Although she was the spokesperson, it was the country that asked her to do it. After all, it was the country. She and the company were quite assured and didn't need to know more about it. Chu Xinxin smiled and said, about this, you can ask President Mu about it in person. I won't answer you. President Mu should be ready. Let's invite President Mu to the stage. Wow. The next moment, there was a thunderous applause, and everyone's eyes were focused on a certain spot. Mu Qingya, who was wearing a white, relatively elegant dress, walked up to them. Everyone looked at her and couldn't help but sigh. So beautiful. You really can't imagine that the president of a company is such a beautiful woman. It's really exaggerated, and she's very young. President Mu, may I ask? President Mu. For a moment, countless flashes were crazily flashing, and everyone was excitedly asking questions. Mu Qingya didn't have any scruples in front of the camera, although she knew that this press conference was open to the whole world. Lin Tian looked at this extremely beautiful woman and secretly clenched his fists. Why? Such a beautiful woman, why can't I, Lin Tian, get her? Why? Everyone, please be quiet. Mu Qingya said lightly to the camera and microphone with a smile. Everyone quieted down. The purpose of today's press conference is to solve the questions in everyone's mind. I'll answer them one by one. So let's begin. First, this person from Sports Wan Shang, who is also an old acquaintance of mine, can ask first. The girl then hurriedly asked, President Mu, I have a lot of questions. Please answer them one by one. Mu Qingya smiled and said, I'll only answer one. After all, there are so many reporters here, right? The woman nodded. You're right, Chairman Mu. Then, I'd like to ask Chairman Mu about this anti-cancer drug. The whole world is concerned about it. I'd like to ask a relatively specific question. That is, what kind of effect can this drug achieve? What are its limits? Lin Xian was watching Mu Qingya from the backstage. She gave off the vibe of Linya, which was why Lin Xian liked her so much. Lin Xian, Wang Xintong ran towards Lin Xian. Sit. Lin Xian smiled and patted his leg. I don't want to. She blushed. Sit down or I'll get angry. Wang Xintong blushed and sat on Lin Xian's lap. Mu Feifei. Crack. She swore that if this brother-in-law didn't give her any benefits, she would give all the photos to her sister. Umph. Brother-in-law, if you don't give me any benefits, just wait and see. I'll take all the photos. But if you do, I'll consider not telling my sister even if it's something so outrageous. Go play in the sand. You. Humph. You're so infuriating. Why wasn't he afraid? Did he not care if he slept with her sister? Mu Qingya said with a smile. First of all, this is not an anti-cancer drug but a cancer drug. What you asked should be of concern to everyone. We have done clinical trials, and the FDA has approved it. What I said is absolutely true. There is only one course of treatment for this drug. No matter if you are in the early stage, the middle stage, or the late stage, a treatment course of 7 days will definitely cure you completely. To put it simply, under the Harmony capsule, cancer is just a common cold. Gasp! Everyone sucked in a breath of air. Since she dared to hold this press conference, she must dare to make a promise. President Mu, may I ask if it can be treated no matter how serious the condition is? Another reporter hurriedly asked. Mu Qingya said. In theory, yes. But because everyone knows that if it's delayed to a certain extent, the spread of cancer cells will destroy the body's functions. This capsule only clears the cancer cells, and other things are useless. But basically, there should be no problem. Chairman Mu, may I ask if this Harmony capsule was really developed by your Mu Group? As far as I know, the Mu Group's main business is beauty and luxury goods. But the Mu Group suddenly developed a drug that's not on par with the industry at all. It's even a global problem. This makes us very curious. Yes, this is indeed very curious. Mu Qingya then said. If you pay attention to the Mu Group, you should know that the Mu Group was suppressed by many companies some time ago and was even on the verge of bankruptcy. All the employees left, all the companies terminated their cooperation, and the banks refused to lend to them. During this period, the Mu Group saw through the fickleness of human nature. In the end, the Mu Group directly transformed and developed this drug. This is the only way to turn the tables. Hearing Mu Qingya's words, many of the former presidents were ashamed. They all regretted it now. They couldn't afford to offend the Lin family, but they also couldn't afford to offend the Mu family. If Mu Qingya was more ruthless, then they would be finished. And the one who developed this drug is not a team. It's one person. He is. Mu Qingya hesitated slightly, and then looked at the camera with her beautiful eyes. He is my boyfriend. Wow, her words were like 1,000 waves. Boyfriend? Mu Qingya's boyfriend? She has a boyfriend? No, that's not the point. The point is her boyfriend really so amazing? He developed the world's most difficult problem alone? Mu Qingya said this because she wanted to tell the whole world that she had a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was very outstanding. She hoped that those who still wanted to pursue her would give up, so that she could save herself a lot of trouble. As for whether it was true or not, it didn't matter to her. Anyway, it was fine as long as outsiders knew. Lin Xian's lips curled up. Wang Xintong sat on his lap and blinked her big eyes. Chu Xinxin, who was standing next to them, was dumbfounded. This person was President Mu's boyfriend, Wang Xintong's boyfriend. And this scumbag was holding Wang Xintong backstage and looking at President Mu? And in front of President Mu's sister? Could it be that President Mu knew that he was two-timing and accepted it? It can't be, right? Wang Xintong was used to it anyway, so she could accept it. However, she was worried that the people here were all fictional. Although they seemed very real, they couldn't go to another planet after entering the God's Awakening door, right? Chapter 1501. Lin Tian clenched his fists. Other than Lin Tian, there were many other suitors of Mu Qingya here. Hearing this, they clenched their fists tightly. It was announced to the whole world. It should be true, right? Who was that person? Lin Tian frowned. This medicine was developed by Lin Xian? How could he? Lin Tian couldn't imagine. He was from an ancient martial arts family. How could this Lin Xian solve a problem that even the ancient martial arts family couldn't solve? Damn it. That's a good match. Will CEO Mu's lover show up? The reporter said with a smile. Mu Qingya shook her head. He doesn't like to show his face in public. If he was responsible, he would have shown up with me from the beginning. CEO Mu's lover is really low-key. Under normal circumstances, he can apply for a Nobel Prize after developing this medicine. But now it seems that CEO Mu's lover. Mu Qingya shook her head. I don't know. Next question. CEO Mu, there's another question. Will this medicine be very rare? After all, most families can't afford the high cost. For example, some diseases may cost tens of thousands of yuan for a needle. For example, some medicines may cost tens of thousands of yuan for a course of treatment. Will this kind of expensive medicine appear in the Harmony capsule? Mu Qingya nodded. Yes. Everyone's heart sank. What I mean is that the medicine won't be rare for the time being. What will be expensive is that it will only cost tens of thousands of yuan. After all, the cost of this medicine is obvious. But unlike other medicines, for many diseases, people need to use medicine to prolong their lives. It costs tens of thousands of yuan every month. Day after day, year after year, there's no end to it. But the Harmony capsule is different. It only costs tens of thousands of yuan. It can cure cancer in a week. Do you still think this is a sky-high price? Mu Qingya glanced at the crowd and said. Yes, it's fundamentally different. Spending tens of thousands of yuan to cure cancer is very cheap. That's right. Normal hospitalization costs are more than tens of thousands. Other diseases prolong life, but the Harmony capsule can cure cancer. Yes, there's a fundamental difference. Everyone nodded. To be honest, it was very cheap to cure cancer for tens of thousands of yuan. Then Chairman Mu, how much is it? As for the current price, because we are sure that a course of treatment can definitely remove all the spreading cancer cells in 7 days, the current price of a course of treatment is 38,888 yuan, and there is only one type. Mu Qingya said. Less than 40,000 yuan to cure cancer. To be honest, even an early or mid-stage surgery or other expenses would cost more than this. That's right, he's already very kind. Chairman Mu, when will it go on sale? Mu Qingya said, currently the physical stores have already terminated their cooperation with the Mu Group. But the online commerce platform has been opened. So there is only one channel for the sale now, and that is the online commerce platform. Everyone, please look for the Only Mu Group store and don't buy fake medicine. The official sale will start at midnight tonight. You need to register your ID to buy it, and each person can only buy one course of treatment at most. At the same time, the Mu Group welcomes all the agents in the future to come and negotiate with us. Mu Qingya's words were very clear. The friends she had never made before didn't include the companies that had terminated their cooperation with her. And if one could become their agent, the benefits would be unimaginable. Many people who were paying attention to the press conference were excited. Murong, will the Mu Group officially transform? Mu Qingya shook her head. No, the Mu Group will continue to engage in the previous industry in the future. In the future, the Mu Group will sell a kind of mask that should be better than all the skincare products today. It can remove wrinkles, crow's feet, and acne marks in a short time, improve the skin, and even make a 40-year-old look 10 years younger with the naked eye. It is already in development and has been successful. We are just waiting for the release. Everyone look forward to it. Wow! Hearing Mu Qingya's words, everyone was shocked again. This? The press conference was over. The Mu Group had completely become a company that people were talking about. If they could really do it, the development of the Mu Group would be unparalleled. Mu Qingya was busy and couldn't spare any time. Mu Feifei wanted to complain, but she couldn't see Mu Qingya. Lin Xian was too infuriating. Lin Xian and Wang Xintong were discussing Wang Xintong's task. For the time being, Lin Xian's task shouldn't be a problem. He could earn 100 billion yuan in a short time. Did you find out about that, Lin Xian? Lin Tian asked faintly while drinking red wine in a business suite. Yes, this is his information. Lin Tian took it and frowned. What? There is no information about his activities in 3 years? Qin Yijuan had asked someone to help delete the news of his death. With the intervention of the country, they couldn't find any records of Lin Xian's death 3 years ago. It was just that there was no information about him in the past 3 years. Well, it seems that he might have gone to a mysterious organization or an ancient martial arts family to cultivate in the past 3 years. Impossible. I have interacted with him. He doesn't have a trace of true qi on him. He is just an ordinary person. Lin Tian said confidently. That can't be explained. Lin Tian muttered. In short, this person can't exist in this world. It doesn't matter if he can explain it or not. Just kill him. As long as he was killed, the Mu group would have no one to rely on. There would be many things that couldn't be developed in the future. He could see that it was because of this Lin Xian that the Mu group was revived. Everything was developed by this Lin Xian. It's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult to be an ordinary person? Lin Tian's eyes narrowed. Yes, he rarely appears in places where there is no one. Lin Tian said. Then use other means. Mu Feifei, the second daughter of the Mu family, always fooling around. It shouldn't be difficult to kidnap her, right? Not difficult. Well, use her to threaten this Lin Xian. There shouldn't be a problem, right? The man nodded. It shouldn't be a problem. I can ask those people to do it. Well, tell them to be quick and careful. Don't leave any traces. After it's done, take 10 million and give them 50 million. Yes, young master. Then the man walked away. Lin Tian shook his wine glass. Lin Xian, you shouldn't be in danger if you keep a low profile. But since you want to be high profile, how can this young master let you go? Killing a person is a piece of cake for this young master. Chapter 1502. Mu Qingya was very busy, but she was very fulfilled and satisfied. She was a busy person. If she was not busy, she would feel uncomfortable. She was used to it. That night, Lin Xian and his family, as well as the Qin family, gathered at the Mu residence for dinner. Mu Qingya did not come back. She was still busy preparing for 12 o'clock in the morning. It was estimated that it would explode at 12 o'clock in the morning. Many people might be waiting on the platform to buy it. Even those who didn't get the disease probably kept it for the sake of buying it in case of an emergency. After all, they weren't sure if they could still buy it in the future. After all, this disease was actually very common and easy to get. Many people bought it to see if they could break down the formula. Although the patent was bought by the Mu group, if they could develop it, they could sell it secretly later. If the price was lower, there would be people who would buy it. Those big families would definitely buy it. Xian, the Mu group is really indebted to you this time. Otherwise, Mu Hao shook his head. He knew what the consequences would be if it were not for Lin Xian. Lin Xian smiled and said, Uncle Mu, we are family. Don't say that. Qin Yijuan heard Lin Xian's words and felt inexplicably unhappy. Family, huh? Sigh, what a pity, what a pity. Qin Zhengwo, old Master Qin, was drinking alone. Dad, why are you drinking alone? What's a pity? Qin Yijuan's mother asked. It's a pity that my precious granddaughter is not as fast as Mu Qingya. Lin Xian is such a good boy. I really like him. It's a pity that someone else beat me to it. Everyone. Grandpa, what are you talking about? Qin Yijuan said helplessly. I think. Mu Feifei took a bite of the drumstick, then shook the drumstick in her hand and said, I think there's still a chance. Ha. Everyone looked at Mu Feifei in confusion. Brother-in-law is very lecherous. Maybe he's too timing. Lin Xian. Everyone. TSK, what nonsense are you talking about all day long? Zhang Ting glared at Mu Feifei. Mu Feifei lowered her head and poked the meat with her chopsticks. Cough, cough. Lin Xian coughed dryly. I'm done. I'm done too. Mu Feifei said quickly. Lin Xian glanced at her. What was his sister-in-law up to? Then you youngsters can have some fun together. We old fellows won't join you. Come, old Master Qin, let's drink. Let me offer you a toast. Lin Xian went to the back garden and lit a cigarette. Hey. Mu Feifei came from behind and kicked Lin Xian. Hey, I haven't even told my elder sister about you. You better take this last chance to bribe me. Then I won't tell my elder sister. I won't tell her that you're two-timing either, okay? Lin Xian turned to look at the pretty girl. Sister-in-law, I really don't have money. Lin Xian shrugged. Oh, you'll have money tomorrow. Lin Xian asked. Won't your elder sister give you money tomorrow? She will. That's good. But she won't give me much. At most, she'll give me around 100,000 yuan. Lin Xian. Elder sister, what are you doing? 100,000 yuan isn't enough? Not enough, not enough. Their cars are worth millions, and they're all sold now. Mu Feifei pouted. Lin Xian said, You're extorting me. He, who told you to two-time? Okay, I'll give you some money when I get it. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. You said it. Yes, I said it. Mu Feifei then ran away happily. I heard it. Qin Yijuan came over at this time. What did you hear? You're two-timing. Lin Xian. Ah. Life. Yes, I'm two-timing you and little Qingya. Lin Xian looked at Qin Yijuan with a smile. Nonsense. Qin Yijuan walked to Lin Xian's side and looked at the scenery in front of her. Qingya is very conservative. I know that many men are bastards, but she can't accept this kind of thing. No, she can't accept it even if she's a normal woman. Wow. You're not scolding me? You're not slapping me? Lin Xian was shocked. So you admit it? Lin Xian nodded. Scumbag ba. Qin Yijuan walked away. Lin Xian. This Earth was different from the sky blue planet. In the end, the sky blue planet was still a place where the strong were respected. On the other hand, Earth was truly protected by the law. Strength was respected, so monogamy was not a strong concept. Sigh. Lin Xian sighed. What should he do? A day passed just like that. Mu Qingya came back the next morning and went to sleep in her room. The supply could not meet the demand. A total of 1 million sets were prepared in advance and sold out in an hour. Hundreds of thousands of boxes were produced overnight, but the supply could not meet the demand. In other words, from last night until now, the Mu Group had earned more than 40 billion. Now the employees were divided into 2 shifts and working overtime to produce the medicine. The post-production department was constantly purchasing materials, and the Mu Group was constantly recruiting new employees. Mu Qingya had promised Lin Xian that the Mu Group would only take 5% of the profits from the medicine. The remaining 95% would be Lin Xian's. After all, the Mu Group could rely on this to survive and continue to grow. Lin Xian did not refuse. He needed to earn 100 billion. If it was normal, he should be able to complete this task in 2 or 3 days. Now there is another task, which is to pick up 2 girls. Well, little Qingya is one, and then there is my sister-in-law or Qin Yijuan. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. In this world, picking up 2 beautiful sisters was a bit too much, right? Well, it's better to pick Qin Yijuan. Time to sleep. Lin Xian then went to Mu Qingya's room. Mu Qingya was sleeping soundly wrapped in the quilt. Lin Xian did not disturb her. He crawled into the quilt and hugged her, then fell asleep. After all, Lin Xian had no cultivation now. He also needed to eat and rest. Sigh, I haven't had sex with a girl since I came to Earth. I'm so hungry. I shouldn't have let Wang Xintong go. However, Lin Xian now had to consider Wang Xintong's task. Her 10 million fans were a bit difficult to deal with, but, with her beauty, as long as the company was willing to spend a lot of money to promote her, Lin Xian planned to give it a try. When the time came, it shouldn't be a problem for Mu Qingya to talk to Wang Xintong's company, right? That afternoon, Mu Qingya opened her beautiful eyes and saw Lin Xian's side profile. Chapter 1503. Mu Qingya bit her lip, and then she showed an embarrassed and angry expression. Bastard. His hand. Mu Qingya hurriedly pulled Lin Xian's hand out of her clothes. Bastard. Bastard. She really gave up. Could it be that she had already acknowledged him to be her real boyfriend? Otherwise, why didn't she get angry when he pinched her nai again and again? Ah. Mu Qingya grabbed her messy hair and hurriedly got up. Morning, daughter-in-law. Lin Xian suddenly said. Mu Qingya. It's afternoon. She nodded and went into the bathroom to wash up. Lin Xian yawned and walked in, hugging Mu Qingya from behind. Mu Qingya. What are you doing? Lin Xian leaned his face on her shoulder. I like you. Mu Qingya. Phew. She looked at herself in the mirror and said. Yesterday's revenue came out. So far, the revenue has reached 60 billion yuan. Not bad. If it weren't for the short supply, it would have exceeded 100 billion yuan by now. Mu Qingya had never thought that making money could be so easy. Lin Xian. You don't have enough factories, do you? She nodded. There must be a lot of companies begging to cooperate with us to produce beauty products. Okay, but I'm worried that we won't be able to keep it steady. What's there to worry about? You keep an eye on them, and I'll let Zhang Yang keep an eye on things here. Mu Qingya said. Let Zhang Yang keep an eye on the beauty products. The cancer drugs are very important. If anything goes wrong, it will be devastating. Okay. Mu Qingya wiped her face. Let go of me. Lin Xian shook his head. No. Mu Qingya. Honey, why don't you be my girlfriend for real? Lin Xian leaned against her back and said. Mu Qingya. Look, we've kissed and Nai has touched me. You don't mind. Mu Qingya. Don't mind? Just because you said you don't mind? However, she really couldn't imagine that Lin Xian would touch such a private place of hers. Mu Qingya turned around and looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. It's not that I don't agree. You are indeed very outstanding. You should find a better girl. To me, if it weren't for you, I might just be a woman from an ordinary family. You can find someone better. Lin Xian looked at her. How is that possible? Don't you know how beautiful you are? You only look at a woman's appearance? Mu Qingya asked. No, but appearance is very important, isn't it? Lin Xian smirked. Mu Qingya turned around and said, I don't have time. I can't accompany you too much, and I can't do anything intimate with you. I don't know how to be a good girlfriend. I'm not qualified. Then leave it to me. Lin Xian leaned over. Mu Qingya trembled and her red lips were kissed by Lin Xian. Mu Qingya. It hurts. She was about to burst into tears. Then she pushed Lin Xian to the back and ran out with her hands covering her breasts. Lin Xian smirked. He got her. Although she didn't agree in the end, but, nice. Sister, your face is so red. Mu Feifei opened her mouth when she saw Mu Qingya. Really? Maybe I was too tired yesterday. Mu Feifei blinked and looked at Mu Qingya. What does being tired yesterday have to do with your blushing this afternoon? Tell me, did you and brother-in-law do something shameful in broad daylight? Mu Qingya. Go away. Humph. Bad woman. Mu Qingya. Give me the money. Mu Feifei reached out her hand. Mu Qingya handed her a card. I don't have much money now. I'll make it up to you later. After all, Mu Feifei had sold her sports car, luxury goods and bags for the Mu Group. Okay, I'll ask brother-in-law. Don't ask him. He needs money to go out tomorrow. Why? It's Shueli's birthday. I'm going to give her a sports car. We've been good friends for so many years. If I can't even give her a sports car, it'll be so embarrassing. I'll give it to you. Mu Qingya shook her head. No, I want to ask brother-in-law. Mu Qingya shook her head helplessly. Then Mu Feifei ran upstairs. Brother-in-law, give me the money. Lin Xian. Ask your sister for the money. She won't give it to me. What I mean is, my money is now in the Mu Group's account. You can ask her for the money. Just tell her I agree. Mu Feifei's eyes lit up. I love you so much. Then she ran downstairs happily. For Mu Feifei, at the age where she liked to play, she wanted to save face. Lin Xian shook his head helplessly. Another day passed by just like that. Mu Qingya was still busy. Lin Xian asked Qin Yijuan out for dinner. After all, Lin Xian wanted to hit on her, but Qin Yijuan rejected him. That scumbag was too timing, and he even asked her out for dinner alone. He was up to no good. Bah! That scumbag. Obviously he wanted to three-time. Qin Yijuan wouldn't let him have his way. He was a pervert with a human face but a beast's heart. She reckoned that this pervert was still thinking about how to get them onto the same bed when the time came. Bah! Lin Xian walked out of the office helplessly. Qin Yijuan was a stubborn donkey. He couldn't ask her out no matter how hard he tried. What could Lin Xian do? Hey, what are you doing now? Regarding Wang Xintong's task, Lin Xian had already troubled Wang Xintong. Mu Qingyao would directly use 10 billion to invest in Wang Xintong's company. He didn't care about anything else. Let her do all the songs, TV series, and variety shows that could be popular. Wang Xintong's company would be very satisfied. 10 billion was almost enough to buy half of his company. Lin Xian knew that Wang Xintong wasn't afraid of being tired, so he would let her become a big star. As long as she had a sense of variety, she would be able to attract fans quickly. For example, she was very picky. With these two shows, she would definitely attract a lot of fans. The most important thing was that she was beautiful. Where are we going? Lin Xian was a little confused since he didn't ask Qin Yijuan out. He couldn't cultivate, but he could make money now. He estimated that in 2 hours his net worth would exceed 100 billion. And then he would have a cultivation of the mysterious sky realm. Hey, did you get it? Suddenly, 2 people passed by Lin Xian. It should be about time, right? Anyway, we've done what we should do. What's left is for those young masters to enjoy themselves. Sigh, it's a pity. Although Mu Feifei doesn't have the temperament of her sister, she's still a super beauty. Sigh, I have to say, those young masters are really bold. The Mu group is now at its peak, and they still dare to. It's mainly because Mu Feifei's best friend set a trap. Think about it. When the video is taken, what can Mu Feifei do? She can only let them do whatever they want. Lin Xian suddenly frowned. Chapter 1504. To be honest, Lin Xian was disgusted by this kind of thing. Say if you like a girl, then chase her. If you can't get her, then it means that you're not capable. What's the point of using such disgusting means? But it had to be said that there were quite a few people who used such means. This was not the most important thing. The most important thing was that Lin Xian heard the conversation between the 2 people. Mu Feifei's best friend was actually setting a trap to help a certain man. This was what made Lin Xian the angriest. Although Mu Feifei was heartless, she treated people sincerely. When she had no money, she begged him for money, and it was a huge sum of money, just to buy a sports car for her best friend. She was quite sincere, which was quite good. However, the human heart was the most terrifying thing in this world. Shua. Lin Xian turned around and kicked the 2 people directly to the ground. Then, he kicked one of them unconscious, and stepped on the other person's chest with his other foot. It looked like he would be crippled if he used too much force. Although Lin Xian had lost his realm, his own combat ability was still there. The matter here also attracted the attention of some people around. Where is Mu Feifei? Lin Xian asked coldly. Although she was not his woman, she was still his sister-in-law. Nothing must happen to her. You are, Lin Xian exerted force on his foot. Ah. That person screamed. Where is Mu Feifei? Lin Xian asked coldly again. At the Royal Mansion clubhouse. Bang. Lin Xian had sent him flying with a kick, and this kick would definitely knock him out as well. Hey, why is that person like this? He hit someone halfway and even knocked him out. Shoo, someone who dares to hit someone halfway is definitely not a good person. It's better not to provoke him. Then call the police. Those passers-by did not understand. On the other side, Lin Xian arrived at the Royal Mansion clubhouse. This was definitely a place for rich people to have fun. Clubs were also divided into different levels, just like hotels. The difference between a 5-star hotel and an ordinary hotel was like the difference between heaven and earth. Lin Xian walked straight into the huge, luxurious clubhouse in front of him, which made him feel as if all he saw was money. Stop. Lin Xian was instantly stopped. Lin Xian frowned. What? I can't enter? Yes, but the Royal Mansion clubhouse is booked today. Where are they? Lin Xian's eyes narrowed as he asked. No matter where he is, you can't enter. I'm going to a birthday party. Can't I enter? Lin Xian replied. He had heard from Mu Feifei that she was here for the birthday party. So you're a guest of the birthday party. Please come in. That person's face instantly changed. Lin Xian then quickly walked in. Brother, that person took a taxi here. Does he look like a rich person? That's hard to say. After all, he knows that there's a birthday party inside. Outside a huge villa, There might be more than 100 men and women playing there. There was also a swimming pool, all kinds of food and drinks. Lin Xian walked over and glanced around. He did not see Mu Feifei. Then Lin Xian walked straight into the villa. The villa was also very lively. A group of men and women were dancing and partying there. Where's Mu Feifei? Lin Xian asked a random person. Mu Feifei? I don't know. The girl shook her head. F***ck. Where's Mu Feifei's best friend? You mean Xueli? She's over there. Lin Xian glanced around and saw a pretty girl drinking red wine with a man. Lin Xian walked over and lifted Xueli up. Where's Mu Feifei? Lin Xian stared at her and shouted coldly. This scene instantly attracted the attention of the surrounding people. Your F***king courting death. The man next to her threw a punch at Lin Xian. Bang! Lin Xian kicked him more than 10 meters away. Some people even heard the sound of ribs breaking. Gulp! They swallowed a mouthful of saliva and did not dare to move. Let me ask you, where's Mu Feifei? Lin Xian shouted again. Xueli was scared out of her wits. She subconsciously looked in a direction. Lin Xian noticed her gaze. Slap. Lin Xian gave her a backhand slap and sent her flying. Then he went to the second floor of the villa. Bang! At this time 2 people opened a door and ran out. Lin Xian happened to see them. Bang! Lin Xian sent them flying with a kick and then rushed into the room. In the room, the bed was extremely messy. Obviously, there was a girl's jacket. This jacket belonged to Mu Feifei. Lin Xian had seen it before. Crack crack crack. Lin Xian's eyes were bloodshot. Where's Mu Feifei? Lin Xian stepped on one of the people's neck and shouted angrily. She was taken away. The 2 people were obviously scared out of their wits by what had just happened. Taken away? Who? I don't know. That person was like a ghost. He appeared in the room inexplicably and took Mu Feifei away. Slap slap. Lin Xian slapped the 2 people until they fainted. Then he called Qin Yijuan and asked her to come and take Mu Feifei away. Perhaps some police officers would be afraid of this kind of thing, because the young masters here were all very powerful. However, Qin Yijuan liked this kind of thing the most. Young masters? Rich young ladies? If they did not arrest them, who would they arrest? Because Qin Yijuan abhorred evil, and she had a powerful background, she was not afraid. If someone dared to protect such a person, then she dared to arrest the person who protected them as well. Lin Xian frowned and sat on the bed. Mu Feifei was taken away? The window was wide open. It seemed to be true. But who would wait? Too many people would want to catch Mu Feifei. Because of the current situation of the Mu group, too many people would be jealous. Mu Qingya was relatively difficult to catch. Mu Feifei was fooling around everywhere every day. Kidnapping Mu Feifei was a very easy thing to do. Since it was a kidnapping, it meant that they were doing it for benefits. Before they got their benefits, Mu Feifei would be fine. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. It was not necessarily an ordinary kidnapping. Lin Xian suspected that the target was Lin Tian of the Lin family. That person said that a person suddenly appeared in the room like a ghost. That person might be a martial artist. Maybe the target was Lin Xian? At this time, Lin Xian's phone rang. Lin Xian directly answered the call. You want to save Mu Feifei? A specially processed voice came from the other side of the phone. Lin Xian said faintly. Tell me, where is she? For Lin Xian this was good news. Then Lin Xian quickly ran out. Chapter 1505. Lin Xian didn't tell anyone about Mu Feifei's accident. Perhaps only Qin Yijuan knew about it, but Qin Yijuan didn't know what happened afterward. She thought that someone wanted to rape Mu Feifei but was stopped by Lin Xian. Now Lin Xian was with Mu Feifei. Actually, that wasn't the case. Lin Xian didn't want those people to worry. He felt that he had the ability to save Mu Feifei. Of course, the premise was, he had to reach the mysterious heaven realm. He estimated that in the next 2 hours his net worth would reach 100 billion. In that case, he would be in the profound heaven realm. But Lin Xian didn't know when exactly, so he could only rush over now. He wasn't worried that something would happen to Mu Feifei, but he was worried that Mu Feifei was so beautiful that she might. Buzz. Lin Xian casually drove a rich person's sports car away from the clubhouse and sped away. In the suburbs. Boss, do we really need so many people? It was late at night here, and there was no light. There was an abandoned factory. There was an abandoned building in this abandoned factory. It wasn't too tall, about 30 meters high, but it wasn't short either. The main thing was that it was big. It was a building that had just been renovated, but it had been abandoned because of an explosion. This place was remote enough because of a chemical leak. Ordinary people wouldn't dare to come here. Although it had been many years, they would inexplicably resist and fear this place. There was only the starlight, and it was especially dark. At this moment, the geniuses on the top floor of the building were chatting. This isn't my idea. This is the employer's idea. Didn't they say that the opponent we want to kill is an ordinary person? But this news made us send out more than 30 brothers. I keep feeling that something is wrong. It's normal. They are just being on the safe side. It's fine as long as the employer gives them enough money. The rest doesn't matter. We just need to do our job. The scarred man said lightly. Others couldn't see it, but they knew that although it seemed like there were only 5 of them on the rooftop, there were still many people in the shadows of the abandoned building. Including the people around them, there were a total of 35 people. Their mission was very simple. They had to kill the person who would come later. Of course, the premise was that if they could keep him alive, it would be best to keep him alive. However, if there was any danger, or if he might run away, then they had to take his life. This was the will of their employer. They didn't know who their employer was, but 50 million to kill a person was worth it. Boss, do you think the employer is also watching in the dark nearby? The scarred man nodded. That's for sure. Otherwise, why would he ask us to try our best not to kill him? It's obvious that he's afraid of arousing suspicion, but he also wants to torture the person who's coming later. They nodded. But don't worry, I'm not an ordinary person. Mu Feifei was caught by him. And he was indeed not just an ordinary person. He was a desperado. The people here were all desperados. However, the reason why he could sit in this position today was very simple. He was a warrior. Although his realm was not very high, he had already come into contact with another world. He was no longer an ordinary person. Although he didn't know much, it was enough. 50 million. Divided among the 30 brothers. Everyone can get a lot. Get ready to work. They're coming. The scarred man looked at the light in the darkness in the distance, and then his gaze fell on Mu Feifei, who was tied up in front of him. Mu Feifei kept struggling. However, she was just an ordinary person. She couldn't struggle at all. Are you desperate? It's okay. There will be more desperate things later. The scarred man sneered and then pulled Mu Feifei up and let her lean on the edge of the rooftop, so that she could see the situation below. Mu Feifei was desperate. How could this happen? Moreover, she felt very uncomfortable now. In front, the sound of a sports car braking suddenly cut through the silence of the night. Bang! Lin Xian opened the car door and got out. Then he lit a cigarette and walked forward. Ugh! Mu Feifei probably saw the person in the light of the car. Her beautiful eyes widened, and then she kept shaking her head. Her eyes suddenly turned red. Why did he come? Idiot! Couldn't he call the police? She heard the conversation between these people just now. Yes, she was kidnapped, but the ultimate goal of these people was Lin Xian. She knew that Lin Xian, this bad guy, was actually very smart. She also knew that Lin Xian himself must have known that these people were after Lin Xian. He didn't have to come. They were not that close. Why did he come? Miss Mu, is the person below your boyfriend? The scarred man sneered and asked. Mu Feifei's eyes were fixed on Lin Xian. She didn't speak. She couldn't speak. Lin Xian walked to the building. Hey, I'm here. Let her go. Lin Xian raised his head to look at the figure above and called out. Bang! At this moment, a gunshot in the dark once again broke the silence of the night. Chi! A bullet went directly into Lin Xian's thigh. Putong! Lin Xian instantly half-knelt there. F***ck. Ugh! Mu Feifei saw this scene and her tears burst out instantly. She kept shaking her head. Seeing this scene, the scarred man and the others couldn't help but sneer. That's it. Bang! Another shot and Lin Xian's right arm was pierced. How should he put it? Lin Xian was now very angry, but he was also very glad. From these two shots, it could be seen that these people didn't want to kill him directly. Since they didn't want to kill him directly, that was fine. Then there was a chance. Moreover, these people seemed to be hired. They probably didn't know the real mastermind behind the scenes. However, Lin Xian believed that the real mastermind behind the scenes would definitely appear. Bring him up. The scarred man sneered. It seemed that the mission could be completed perfectly. He was shot in the thigh and right arm. Let's not talk about other things. As long as he didn't have a grenade on him, there was no need to worry about anything. Moreover, he definitely didn't have a grenade on him. He came for Mu Feifei. How could he blow up Mu Feifei? Then several figures escorted Lin Xian to the top of the building. Lin Xian saw that Mu Feifei was tied up there, and seemed to be fine. He also let out a long sigh of relief. F*ck. His body hadn't hurt so much in a long time. F*ck. The feeling of being shot was really uncomfortable. Mu Feifei cried as she looked at Lin Xian. Tear. The scarred man tore off the bandage on Mu Feifei's mouth and pushed her to Lin Xian's side. Oh, brother-in-law, what are you doing here? Don't you know that their target is you? Mu Feifei burst into tears and threw herself on Lin Xian. Chapter 1506. Mu Feifei's thinking was very simple. Even if these people kidnapped her for Lin Xian, they had only known each other for a few days. Lin Xian must know this himself. He could have chosen not to come. Why would he be so stupid to come? Lin Xian did not reply to Mu Feifei. Instead, he glanced at the people in front of him and said, Since I'm already here, can you let her go? Ha ha ha. Let her go? The scarred man laughed. You're so naive. I said you'll let her go once you're here. And you'll really let her go? If you let her go, won't we be exposed? Ha ha ha. Why do people like you need to make such a big fuss? He really couldn't figure it out. This kid seemed to have strong endurance. He was shot in the arm and thigh, but he could still remain so calm. This was what surprised him. Lin Xian was stalling for time. He could only stall for time. Tie them all up. Yes. Then Lin Xian and Mu Feifei were tied up. Boss, didn't you say before that this woman also needs to be eliminated? Then before we get rid of him, can we? Several men licked their saliva. You're so damn troublesome. Hee hee, she's so pretty after all. Let's wait for the next employer to come and see. If they don't want this woman, then it's fine. If they want her, then we can't touch her now. Lin Xian and Mu Feifei were tied there. Both of them were gagged. Mu Feifei's tears were flowing, especially when she saw that Lin Xian's arm and thigh were still bleeding from the bullet holes. She really felt terrible. Lin Xian, on the other hand, said, Sister, work harder and earn more money. Hurry up and complete this mission. On the other side, not far away, a middle-aged man had been waiting here for a long time. Hello. He received a call from the scarred man. We have them under control. When are you coming to get them? I don't have that much time to waste here with you. The man said faintly. 5 minutes are up. For the sake of safety, he didn't show himself, but he saw everything that happened just now. Lin Xian was definitely a martial artist. Even if he wasn't, he must have come into contact with martial arts before. Even if he wasn't, he must have come into contact with them. Therefore, there was nothing wrong with being careful. Soon, the man came to the top of the building. Those people were waiting impatiently, while Mu Feifei was still sobbing in Lin Xian's arms. They couldn't talk. She really wanted to talk. But what should she do next? When the man came to the rooftop, the scarred man and the others all looked over. Are you the employer? The man glanced at Lin Xian and Mu Feifei in the corner. Lin Xian also looked up at him. I don't know him. This is the remaining 20 million. You can leave now. The man threw 2 boxes to them. They were pleasantly surprised when they caught it, and were about to walk away when they suddenly realized something. Do you want this woman? If you don't want it, we'll take it away. The scarred man pointed at Mu Feifei and said, No, take her away. You can do whatever you want with her. The man said faintly. Mu Feifei showed a horrified expression. They rubbed their hands and looked at Mu Feifei greedily. Tear. The man tore off the tape on Lin Xian's mouth. Hee, let's go. Then the scarred man and the others took the crying Mu Feifei away. The man looked at Lin Xian with a smile. Kid, you didn't expect this day to come, did you? The man looked at Lin Xian with a sneer. The Lin family? Lin Xian said. The Lin family? Whether it's the Lin family or not, you'll know when you go back with me later. You didn't kill me because you wanted to torture me slowly? Lin Xian sneered. Now he couldn't do anything. Mu Feifei was taken away and he couldn't do anything, so he had no choice at all. However, Lin Xian felt that it should be soon. Haha, you're smart. Then it's the Lin family. Lin Xian said with a smile. When he came back, the force he provoked was nothing more than the Lin family. That was all. It seems that you're in a good state. I can't let you be in such a good state. The man then took out his pistol. Bang! A shot pierced Lin Xian's other arm. Lin Xian let out a painful groan. Lin Xian. Mu Feifei was taken to the bottom of the building. When she heard the gunshot that cut through the silence of the night, her tears burst out again. Could he have been killed by someone else with a gun? You'd better worry about yourself. When we reach the place later, you should think about how to serve our 30 brothers well. The scarred man licked his lips and sneered. Mu Feifei's face was filled with despair. Ha ha ha. Upstairs, the man looked at Lin Xian and couldn't help but laugh. He was completely relieved. This was a piece of trash that everyone wanted to kill. What was there to worry about? Then he reached out to Lin Xian and prepared to take Lin Xian away. Do you believe that you'll die? Lin Xian's voice suddenly came. Is that so? Then you'll be the first to die. The man sneered. Ding. Congratulations on completing the mission. The mission reward has been issued. Lin Xian's mouth revealed a smile. Damn it. It was finally completed. Although the power of the mysterious sky realm was very weak, Lin Xian still felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. The law of creation was directly released and Lin Xian's wound disappeared. Bang! In the next moment, Lin Xian broke free from the rope. The man. You? Space lock. Lin Xian released a space lock and locked him in there. Then he bent down and picked up the gun on the ground and pointed the black muzzle at him. The man's eyes were filled with fear. Damn it. If you said that you were so powerful, why are you pretending to be here? Why are you getting shot here? F***CK. Bang bang bang. Lin Xian couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with this person. He shot him in the legs, arms and arms. After he was done, Lin Xian took the phone from the man's pocket and threw him to the ground. Kill him directly? That would be so boring. Wouldn't it be better to let him die slowly in pain? The sound of several gunshots made Mu Feifei's delicate body tremble. Hee, seriously, since he's already dead, why waste this matter? Can't we just kill him? I thought we were going to torture him properly. Didn't we still kill him? The scarred man shook his head. Obviously, when they heard so many gunshots, their subconscious reaction was that Lin Xian was killed. Mu Feifei's tears flowed down. She didn't just let down Lin Xian but also her sister. Let's go. The scarred man said. Go? Where to? Suddenly, a voice came from in front of them. Chapter 1507. When Mu Feifei heard this naughty voice, her delicate body suddenly trembled. She looked up at the darkness in front of her. A figure stood there. She couldn't see him clearly, but she could see the red light of the cigarette butt. Who is it? The scarred man and more than 30 people showed vigilant expressions. Lin Xian's figure slowly walked in front of them. Everyone. It's you? They stared at Lin Xian with wide eyes, then looked back at the direction of the building's rooftop. Wasn't this person on the rooftop just now? Wasn't he injured? Why was he fine? Could it be twins? That couldn't be. This person was wearing the same clothes just now. And now there was blood on his clothes and there were bullet holes. It was him. Brother-in-law? Mu Feifei was also completely stunned. Lin Xian took a deep puff, then threw the cigarette butt on the ground and crushed it with his shoe. Then he looked up at them. Hunting time begin. Stop pretending. Bang bang bang. The knife-scarred man fired a few shots at Lin Xian. Ah! Mu Feifei closed her eyes in fright. However, she didn't seem to hear the sound of the bullets entering his body. You. The scarred man looked at Lin Xian in shock. Mu Feifei opened her beautiful eyes. And then her small mouth opened wide. What happened? Of course Lin Xian caught it with his bare hands. Then Lin Xian squeezed and the bullet turned into powder. Mu Feifei was dumbfounded. Was he still human? How should she put it? Lin Xian didn't want to show Mu Feifei that he was different from ordinary people, so he didn't use martial arts. Whoosh! In the next moment, Lin Xian's figure seemed to have turned into a breeze in the dark night, disappearing on the spot. Ah! Mu Feifei stood there in a daze, listening to the screams in her ears. Then she didn't even see Lin Xian's figure. She saw people fall to the ground one by one and never get up again. Mu Feifei. Brother-in-law. He is so strong. He was such a powerful expert. It was the feeling of being the male lead in a TV series. This? She had previously said that her brother-in-law was weak, but now a martial artist. The knife-scarred man looked at Lin Xian, and his pupils suddenly shrank. Furthermore, this person's realm seemed to be even higher than his own. Whoosh! He rushed to Mu Feifei's side and pointed the gun at Mu Feifei's head. Stop! Shua! Lin Xian landed in front of him, while the others had all been dealt with by Lin Xian. The knife-scarred man looked at Lin Xian with fear in his eyes. Back off! If you don't back off, I'll kill her! The scarred man shouted angrily. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up slightly, and then he walked over. Back off! I told you to back off! The knife-scarred man roared, but he controlled Mu Feifei to keep retreating, while Lin Xian kept walking forward. If you come any closer, I'll shoot. Mu Feifei closed her eyes. Ah! His mental state had been tormented by Lin Xian. How dare he come here? Then he pulled the trigger. Am I going to die? But seeing such a powerful brother-in-law before death, she seemed to be quite satisfied. And she had not been defiled by that group of people, so it should be quite good. But, what a pity! She had finally seen such a powerful person, but she had died. Mu Feifei closed her eyes, but tears flowed from the corners of her eyes. Sister-in-law, what are you doing? Lin Xian's voice suddenly came from in front of her. Mu Feifei. She opened her beautiful eyes in disbelief. Bang! Lin Xian kicked the knife-scarred man's body to the side. Mu Feifei. Lin Xian. Impudent, call me brother-in-law. Wah! She cried and rushed to Lin Xian. She threw herself into Lin Xian's arms and cried loudly. Lin Xian smiled and patted her back. After a long time, the two of them sat on the ground. Mu Feifei snuggled in Lin Xian's arms. Get up, get up. Lin Xian pushed her. No. I can't. Mu Feifei leaned in Lin Xian's arms, her small hands clutching Lin Xian's clothes tightly. Sister-in-law, what are you doing? Let's go back. No. Mu Feifei raised her small head and looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful big eyes. Brother-in-law, why are you so powerful? Mu Feifei asked with admiration. I've always been very powerful, okay? If you're so powerful, why didn't you fight back when you were shot? I did it on purpose. You don't need to know the reason. Okay, let's go home. Mu Feifei looked at Lin Xian. Are you going to see my sister? Mu Feifei asked. No, I'm going home. What are you doing here? Mu Feifei then got up. She sat down on Lin Xian and directly pressed Lin Xian to the ground. Lin Xian. I've decided to pursue you. Lin Xian? Are you crazy? My dream boyfriend is someone like brother-in-law, a super powerful hero. Mu Feifei's big eyes were twinkling. Well, that's so rare. Now that I've met you, I definitely won't give up. I'm your sister's boyfriend. I don't care. I'm willing to be a mistress. If you find out in the future, you can say that I seduced you. I'll admit it to my sister. In this way, my sister won't blame you. Mu Feifei said. Lin Xian. Then she reached out to untie Lin Xian's belt. Lin Xian was startled. Damn. What are you doing? Then let's go to the car? She blinked and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Sister-in-law, are you crazy? Didn't you say that sister-in-law smells the best? Mu Feifei looked at Lin Xian with her big eyes, and then took the initiative to kiss him. Lin Xian. Was this girl so open-minded? She was indeed open-minded, but not to that extent. It was just that she really wanted Lin Xian. Sister? She didn't think it was important. Sister would definitely forgive her, right? Lin Xian had never touched a girl since he came here. How could Lin Xian resist being seduced by Mu Feifei like this? Then in the dark forest, Lin Xian and Mu Feifei, phew. After a long time, Mu Feifei lay on Lin Xian's body and panted, her face flushed. I didn't expect that my first time would be a fight. Mu Feifei's big eyes lit up as she looked at Lin Xian's body. Muscles, abs, scars, wow. So charming. She couldn't stand it. She really couldn't stand it. Again. Mu Feifei couldn't stand it anymore and sat on him. Lin Xian. Sister, aren't you tired? It hurts a little, but I want to. Lin Xian. Chapter 1508. Lin Xian drove Mu Feifei home. Brother-in-law, why don't you stay here tonight? Mu Feifei sat in the passenger seat and acted coquettishly. What do you mean? Lin Xian scratched his head and glanced at her. Get a room. Lin Xian. Sister, you've already had sex twice. Do you want to do it again? Lin Xian looked at the girl in surprise. Can't you do it? It's not that I can't do it. How thirsty are you? Oh, you don't understand. Don't understand what? Mu Feifei glared at Lin Xian. Humph. I'm not talking to you anymore. Lin Xian. Go back and have a good rest. Lin Xian drove while Han Rui stared at Lin Xian with her big eyes. The more she looked at him, the more addicted she was. You must want to have sex with me, Mu Feifei said aggrievedly. I won't. You're very tired today, Lin Xian said. Really? Really? By the way, brother-in-law, are you a warrior? Well, yes. Mu Feifei then asked. How powerful are you? You caught a bullet with your bare hands and crushed it. Brother-in-law, can you use the martial arts skills on TV? Like flames, thunder, or something? Mu Feifei asked expectantly. Clatter. Lin Xian snapped his fingers, and then boom! A bolt of lightning struck down in front of them. Wow. Mu Feifei's big eyes sparkled. He was so handsome. Brother-in-law, I want to learn. Can you teach me? Mu Feifei looked at Lin Xian excitedly. I can teach you. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. You're too good at causing trouble. I'm very obedient. Mu Feifei pouted. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Get over here. Don't think I don't know what you're trying to do, old pervert. Lin Xian's lips curled up. Sister-in-law, are you willing? If you teach me, I'll numb you. Lin Xian. You can try. Mu Feifei was the kind of girl who was open-minded but dared to try. She was the kind of girl who didn't know how to hide her feelings. She would have to do it sooner or later anyway. It didn't matter if it was earlier or later. Hiss. Comfortable. Bah. Mu Feifei blushed. Are you going to teach me or not? I'll teach you, but I can only teach you the basics for now. Anyway, I have plenty of time. Lin Xian glanced at her. Old pervert. Mu Feifei? Brother-in-law, what did you say? I said you're an old pervert. So what if I'm an old pervert? Who said that girls can't be like boys? Mu Feifei rolled her eyes. Okay, go back and have a good rest. Oi. Mu Feifei pursed her lips. The two of them then returned to the Mu family. In the Mu family's house, they were sitting in the living room. Qin Yijuan was also here. Originally, when Qin Yijuan received Lin Xian's call, she thought that he was just a fan at most, so she brought those people in. However, she received news from several people that Mu Feifei had been kidnapped. Qin Yijuan felt that something was wrong. Were there two groups of people? Then, she couldn't get in touch with Lin Xian or Mu Feifei. She hurriedly sent someone to look for them, but she accidentally called the Mu family to ask about it. Then they refused to let her go, and then the news was exposed. Now they were super panicked. Uncle Auntie, don't worry. Since Lin Xian dared to go, he should be confident. Otherwise he would have told us. Qin Yijuan said. Sigh. But why can't I contact him now? They sighed. Mu Qingya sat there, looking very haggard. It's okay. Qin Yijuan patted Mu Qingya's shoulder. Brother-in-law, I'm telling you, you must take me to the amusement park tomorrow, or I won't be happy. Mu Feifei and Lin Xian came in. Thud. They stood up. Feifei Lin Xian. Woo-woo, I was bullied. Mu Feifei pouted and threw herself into Mu Hao's arms. Mu Qingya looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. It's okay. Lin Xian's clothes had been repaired by the law of creation, so she couldn't see anything. Okay. Mu Qingya nodded and let out a long sigh of relief. Everyone is worried. It's okay. Let's rest. Lin Xian said. Qin Yijuan glanced at Lin Xian and said, I caught those people. Okay, do what you need to do. Don't worry. Although they are young masters and daughters, their family power is useless in front of me. Lin Xian nodded. Then I'll go first. Have a good rest. Qin Yijuan got up and walked away. I'm going to take a shower and sleep too. Okay, Xian, rest early. Thank you. I'm going to sleep too. Mu Feifei yawned and walked away. Feifei, is your leg hurt? Why are you limping? Zhang Ting asked quickly. Mu Feifei, Lin Xian. Both of their bodies suddenly collapsed. It's just a sprain. It's not serious. I should be fine when I wake up tomorrow. Mu Feifei said awkwardly. Let me give you a massage. Mu Qingya said. No need, sister. You've been busy all day and are so tired. I'm really fine. You and brother-in-law should have a good rest. Mu Feifei said with a smile. Okay. Let's take a shower together. Mu Feifei said. Lin Xian. This girl was really naughty. She wanted their relationship to be discovered, didn't she? She wanted to take a shower together. Mu Qingya didn't think much, and went back to the room with Lin Xian. Was Feifei kidnapped? Mu Qingya asked when she was alone with Lin Xian. Yes. You saved her? Of course. So you are still a warrior, right? Yes, why? Do you want me to teach you? Lin Xian looked at her with a smile. Anything is fine. Mu Qingya nodded. She just thought that if she learned, she would be able to protect herself and slow down her aging. She would be full of energy and wouldn't be so tired after working all the time. Then I don't understand. Mu Qingya looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes and said, You are so powerful. Why did you look so strange when we met? Did something happen? Lin Xian smiled and said, Actually, I did it on purpose. Huh. I got close to you on purpose. Now that I'm close to your bed, my wish has been fulfilled. The rest is to get close to your body, Mu Qingya. Rogue. She gritted her teeth and said, I'm going to rest. Then she lay down on the bed. Have a good rest. Lin Xian walked away. Chapter 1509. Mu Qingya turned around and looked at Lin Xian in surprise. What did he want? Wasn't he going to sleep? Mu Qingya was curious. According to Lin Xian's level of lecherousness, why didn't he come? In fact, it was very simple. Lin Xian released at Mu Feifei's place 3 times. He was really in sage mode now. Lin Xian came to a fitness room in the villa, and then sat there to cultivate. When Lin Xian's cultivation level returned, he would be able to cultivate. Now, of course, he urgently needed to cultivate. Now that this task was completed, there was still one more task, which was basically completed. If he took down Mu Feifei, then Mu Qingya or Qin Yijuan, wouldn't it be completed? Let's start a new task. Lin Xian pondered slightly. It had been a week since he came to this world. To be honest, he was quite familiar with it, but there were still many things that Lin Xian wanted to do. There were a total of 10 tasks. If he completed all of them within 3 months, he would be able to leave here alive. At the same time, he could exchange a lot of rewards, including many rules, attributes, domains, and so on. This was their promotion. Congratulations on opening a new task, Kill Taotai. Task reward. System points plus 10 million. Task time limit. 2 months. Lin Xian. Taotai? Are you King serious? Lin Xian was dumbfounded. Was this a task that people should encounter? He didn't need to know anything else. He didn't need to know how strong Taotai was. Just by these two words, a normal person's idea was that this was King Strong okay. An ancient vicious beast. What kind of realm was that? Even if the spiritual power of heaven and earth was very weak now, it existed in ancient times. At that time, the spiritual power of heaven and earth was very prosperous, right? Lin Xian then checked the information. I don't know if it's true or not. Taotai has been sealed, but who knows if this kind of information that ordinary people can find is true or false. If it's sealed, at least there's good news. That is, its realm won't increase in these years, and will instead decrease. It may be true, because if it could still be alive, there wouldn't be the current peaceful and prosperous world. Lin Xian then checked the system task. Kill Taotai. Taotia's location is the Ghost Mountain, north of Jiangnan City. Please go to the Ghost Mountain, find Taotai, and kill it. Lin Xian. Hey system, what realm is this Taotai? Ding. I don't know, go by yourself. Lin Xian. To be honest, Lin Xian really didn't dare to go. He was only one star of the Mystic Heaven realm. The Mystic Heaven realm wasn't weak, but it wasn't strong either. With Lin Xian's various abilities, he shouldn't be weak. However, the top ancient martial arts family on Earth couldn't be defeated by a Mystic Heaven realm expert no matter how weak they were. Therefore, if Lin Xian was more ruthless, he would go now. The law of destruction, law of creation, full attribute, top-level martial arts, he shouldn't be weak. But what if something happened? There was still so much time. Couldn't he spend a little more time to increase his realm and make himself more confident? This was Earth. No matter what, there would be domain realm experts. It was basically impossible for heavenly venerables, but it was still possible for the top families to have domain realm experts. They probably even had domain and laws. It was very dangerous. If Lin Xian was in the domain realm, Lin Xian wouldn't be afraid even if the opponent was a heavenly venerate because Lin Xian's spiritual energy was dense. But now, with the Mystic Heaven realm, no matter how dense his spiritual energy was, it would probably be gone after releasing a god-level martial art. This was the main reason for the difference. I'll go and increase my realm first. With my talent, even if the mission reward doesn't increase my realm, my improvement won't be slow. As long as I reach the law realm, I can go. Let's start another mission. Lin Xian muttered to himself. Ding. Congratulations on starting the mission, Destruction of the Lin Family. Mission reward, system points plus 8 million. Mission time limit, 1 month. Lin Xian. What the F***ck? Lin Xian began to curse. Destruction of the Lin family? In other words, he had to destroy the Lin family. This so-called destruction didn't necessarily mean that he had to kill everyone in the Lin family, but he had to kill some people. At the same time, he had to destroy the Lin family's economy. This was the most basic thing. Lin Xian was willing. But, although the Lin family wasn't a super family like the Xianyuan family, they were still one of the 8 big ancient martial arts families. Their family was definitely not weak. I'd better increase my realm as soon as possible and try to complete these 2 missions within a week. Lin Xian muttered to himself, then took out the phone he had taken from the man. There was only one number on the phone. This number hadn't called for 2 hours, so Lin Xian took the initiative to call him. Lin Tian was anxiously waiting at the hotel. F***ck. Logically speaking, he should have contacted him an hour or 2 ago. It was impossible for something to go wrong with his men. The ones who went wrong might be the people he hired. They might have wasted some time in some part of the process. He could still wait. Then the phone rang. Of course, this phone wasn't his own. The number was given to him by someone. Hello. Lin Tiandao said. Lin Xian's lips curled up. Good evening, young Master Lin. Lin Tian frowned. Lin Xian. He was fine? Then his men? Lin Tian's voice changed. What Lin Tian? Lin Xian laughed. It's nothing. I'm just calling to tell you that your men are gone. Also, we'll meet again soon. Then Lin Xian hung up the phone. F***ck. Lin Tian couldn't understand. The men he sent were arcane body state experts. How could they be gone? This arcane body state expert. Was he killed by Lin Xian with a gun? After all, an arcane body state expert could be pierced by a gun if he wasn't careful. Mu Qingya walked out in her pajamas. After tossing and turning for a while, she wanted to see what Lin Xian was doing. Then she saw Lin Xian sitting cross-legged in the gym with his eyes closed. Is he cultivating? Mu Qingya found it amazing. There seemed to be light flickering and lingering around his body. She watched for a while, and then walked away. 5 days passed just like that. During this time, Lin Xian also completed the mission. Mu Feifei and Mu Qingya liked him. This mission only required them to like him, and that was enough. Needless to say, he had to have sex with them. Mu Qingya did gradually fall in love with Lin Xian. It was mainly because of their experiences. She also liked Lin Xian very easily. Moreover, Lin Xian, this bastard, held her nai to sleep every night. What could she do? Level 4 Arcane Body State. It's time to go to Ghost Mountain. In these 5 days, Lin Xian had advanced by 4 stages. Because of the effect of pills, Lin Xian was very excited. Chapter 15:10. These days, Mu Qingya was really busy. She had never been so busy in her life, but she was very fulfilled. She liked to be busy. If you let her be idle, she would feel uncomfortable. The cancer drug was widely praised, and the Mu group had completely risen. A day ago, the second product, the face-retaining pill, was released. The name of the product was changed to face-retaining pill. Because of the foreshadowing, after the advertisement of the beauty-retaining pill came out, the masses were extremely shocked. The wrinkles and crow's feet could disappear in a few days, and the skin would regain vitality, tenderness, and elasticity. Taking it for 2 months could make the skin 5 years younger, and taking it for 3 months could make the skin 8 years younger. Everyone didn't believe it, and thought it was ridiculous. But because of the precedent of the cancer drug, everyone chose to give it a try. This trial was the effect was simply too obvious. After sleeping for a night, the wrinkles could be seen with the naked eye. In an instant, it became popular. And this was a woman's need. How much did a woman spend on cosmetics and skincare products in this lifetime? This face-retaining pill allowed them to directly save 5 or 8 years of skincare products. And there were many skincare products that you couldn't see much of an effect. You could even see the effect. Shocking. The Mu group was directly targeting the richest man in the world. This woman's need. The profit of the face-retaining pill in the future may be thousands or tens of thousands of times more than the cancer drug. Those companies and families began to ask for cooperation with the Mu group, because many skincare companies were suffering because of the impact of the face-retaining pill. Mu Qingya was soft-hearted. Although business was a life-and-death competition, she still gave those companies a chance to survive. She let them be agents, and those companies directly changed their business direction. At least in this way, they could survive. Next, Lin Xian gave Mu Qingya some other things. That was, the formula to treat AIDS and a series of terminal diseases. However, Lin Xian didn't let her monitor it personally, because Mu Qingya had heart disease. Lin Xian needed some specific medicinal materials for her heart disease, and he didn't have them now. It was difficult to obtain them, so he might have to collect them himself. Lin Xian just gave Mu Qingya and Mu Hao a simple treatment, at least to ensure that they would be fine in a short time. Zhang Ting, Mu Qingya's mother, as a veteran businesswoman, she also went into action again. Early in the morning, Lin Xian opened his eyes. Mu Qingya was sleeping soundly in his arms. She was too tired. Fortunately, Lin Xian would give her massage and acupuncture every night. The effect was excellent. Lin Xian pulled his hand out of her clothes. Well, that thing was now a must-have for him every night. Mu Qingya hadn't confirmed her relationship with Lin Xian yet, but she seemed to have regarded herself as Lin Xian's girlfriend. After all, Lin Xian had completed his mission, which meant that Mu Qingya had fallen in love with him. All that was left was a confession from Lin Xian. As for Lin Xian, that bastard, he didn't confess. Lin Xian yawned. It was time to go to Ghost Mountain today. Lin Xian had investigated Ghost Mountain. It just so happened that the main medicinal herb he wanted to treat Mu Qingya and Mu Hao's heart disease was there. It grew in a place with relatively high heaven and earth spiritual energy, and was dark. Ghost Mountain was in line with this point. Darkness was necessary because Taotai lived in Ghost Mountain, So the heaven and earth spiritual energy there must be higher than other places. The probability of the medicinal herb Lin Xian wanted to find there was very high. Will there be other demon beasts in Ghost Mountain besides Tao Tai? Lin Xian pondered slightly, then lit a cigarette and leaned there to smoke. There must be demon beasts on Earth. Why? There were a lot of strange things in the news, such as the appearance of a very terrible creature, or seeing a dragon in the clouds, or seeing a huge monster in the night, or seeing someone in the clouds in the sky. There were even pictures. These were all regarded as fake news and photoshopped pictures. Even if they weren't photoshopped pictures, no one would believe them. In fact, those might be true. The strange creatures they saw might be demon beasts, and the lightning tribulation might be real. As for a dragon, the possibility of this was relatively small. In this era, Lin Xian believed that there must be demon beasts, but there might be very few of them. These demon beasts might live in some uninhabited areas, such as rainforests, deserts, and snowy mountains. Those that were occasionally found were all treated as jokes. This ghost mountain was the northernmost part of Jiangnan City. It was an uninhabited area, and the magnetic field here was abnormal. Airplanes couldn't fly above it, and there was no one in a radius of about 50 kilometers. It was just that there was a highway nearby. There were mountains, trees, and canyons everywhere. It was said that there were a lot of wild animals, tigers, and so on. Therefore, this ghost mountain was surrounded by dozens of kilometers, but no one entered. There might be some adventurers who went in, but it seemed that many people died. Therefore, it was called Ghost Mountain by the people because many people who went in died. I don't know if I'm qualified to go there as a fourth-stage mysterious heaven realm cultivator. I also don't know what realm that Tao Tai is at. Even if it was sealed for so many years, it shouldn't be at the mysterious heaven realm. Lin Xian pondered for a moment, but he could find it because he had the cave spirit eye. Mu Qingya had opened her eyes for 2 minutes, and she had been looking at Lin Xian in a daze while smoking a cigarette. Your cigarette ash is going to fall on the bed. Mu Qingya said coldly. Lin Xian reacted, and his hand trembled, and the cigarette that was several centimeters long fell on the quilt. Mu Qingya was speechless. She was a clean freak and couldn't stand this. Lin Xian blew on the cigarette, and then put it out. Hee. Then Lin Xian smiled innocently at her. Mu Qingya sat up and looked out of the window. It was still dark, and it was probably about 5 o'clock in the morning. What do you want to eat in the morning? She asked as she tidied her hair. Noodles, seafood noodles. Okay. I'll sleep for a while. Bring it to me when you're done. Thank you, Qingya. Lin Xian then lay down again. Mu Qingya. Then she went into the bathroom to wash up. She seemed to have adapted to serving Lin Xian in his daily life. Even Lin Xian's clothes were washed by her. Although she just threw them into the washing machine, she also helped to dry the clothes. Sigh, sweetheart. Lin Xian was actually meditating. He planned to set off tonight. Nighttime was the most dangerous time, but at the same time, it was the time when he could encounter the most things. If he could advance to the 5th stage of the mysterious heaven realm today, he would be more confident. Chapter 15:11. Mu Qingya went to make breakfast and Mu Feifei sneaked out sneakily. Knock, knock, knock. Brother-in-law, brother-in-law. She called in a low voice at the door. Lin Xian. Lin Xian opened his eyes. She opened the door a little and sneaked in. Hee. She jumped onto the bed and lay on top of Lin Xian. I want a kiss. Lin Xian. I say, you sure have guts. It's okay. My sister is cooking. She won't come up to take a look like other girls. If you hurry up, we can have sex. Mu Feifei rubbed her face against Lin Xian's chest. Lin Xian. I don't want anything to happen. Go away, go away. Humph. Mu Feifei's cute little nose wrinkled. Then she lifted the quilt and looked around. Sister, what are you looking for? I want to see if there are any water stains. No. Don't you have sex? Mu Feifei ran to the bathroom. There was no towel in the washing machine or the laundry basket. It meant that they didn't use a towel even if they had sex. The sheets were under the bed. No sex. Her sister was so beautiful. Her brother-in-law didn't do anything to her? Impossible. Did he just eat her? Well, it was possible. After all, her sister was so tired from work. It was reasonable that she didn't want to do anything. Lin Xian touched his forehead. This sister-in-law of his was simply a lawless little demoness. Brother-in-law, are you dying? Mu Feifei walked over and asked as she leaned on Lin Xian's body. Believe it or not, I can make you cry. Hey please. Lin Xian. It was not that Lin Xian didn't want to, but he didn't dare to. I'll let you go. Yes. I want it. Mu Feifei acted coquettishly. Lin Xian. Can you stand it? Lin Xian thinks for a while. Mu Qingya just went down, and he still has to prepare the seafood noodles, defrost it and cook it. It will take at least 20 minutes. She won't come up to see what he is doing. If he can finish it in 20 minutes, he can feel it in advance with his spiritual mind. Go lock the door. Lin Xian replied. Wow. Mu Feifei's big eyes twinkled with little stars. In her sister's bedroom, she was with her brother-in-law. How exciting! 20 minutes later, Mu Qingya came up with a bowl of hot noodles. She thought that Lin Xian might be sleeping, so she didn't knock on the door. She put the noodles on the floor and opened the door herself. Lin Xian was lying in bed, playing with his phone. It was too dangerous. She had just sent Mu Feifei out with the space attribute. At the critical moment, Lin Xian used the law of destruction to destroy the lock on the door. Only then did Mu Qingya open the door normally. Mu Qingya looks at Lin Xian with a slight frown. Why did this person take off his clothes? Why did you take off your shirt? Mu Qingya asks. It's hot. Lin Xian. Hot. She looks at the air conditioner. She feels cold too. Hey, go to your work. I'll eat. Lin Xian hurries. Something is wrong. Mu Qingya frowns and then sees Lin Xian's pajama pants on the floor. Mu Qingya. You. Mu Qingya guesses something. Lin Xian also sees the pants on the floor. Damn it. He forgot. It's too urgent. Mu Qingya grits her teeth. You did it on my bed. Lin Xian. Lin Xian touches the tip of his nose. Yes, he simply nodded. Mu Qingya. Hurry up and finish it. Then she hurries out of the room. She didn't expect her sister to do something with Lin Xian. But she doesn't know what to do. Lin Xian doesn't seem to have much contact with girls these days. He only interacts with her, Mu Feifei and Qin Yijuan. But Mu Qingya knows Lin Xian doesn't even go out of the house these days. He hugs her to sleep every night, so it's normal for him to have sexual needs. What she couldn't understand was that she already had such a relationship with Lin Xian. She even did that to him every night. If he had been a little more forceful, she might have agreed. How did Lin Xian end up like her? To be honest, she has mixed feelings. Bastard. Can't you confess to me again? Mu Qingya is helpless. Lin Xian breathes a sigh of relief. I was scared to death. After happily finishing a bowl of noodles, Lin Xian puts on his clothes and starts cultivating. Mu Qingya doesn't come up again. After breakfast, she goes straight to the company. Soon it's night. Uncle Mu, I'm going out for a while. I might not come back tonight. Lin Xian greets Mu Hao. Okay. Mu Hao nods. Brother-in-law, where are you going? I'm going to. Mu Feifei is Lin Xian's little follower now. I'm not taking you. Lin Xian goes out, finds a car in the garage, and drives to Ghost Mountain. The car stops in a parking lot in a county on the edge of Jiangnan City. Lin Xian finds a spot, releases the power of space, and disappears on the spot. There's probably no place to park in Ghost Mountain. This car isn't cheap, so it would be quite distressing to break it, even though he seems to be very rich. Mysterious Sky Realm Level 5. The speed of his progress is quite fast. Lin Xian wants to see if he can get any opportunities here. Lin Xian thinks that there should be good things in the place where Taotai is sealed, right? At the very least, even if Lin Xian can't beat him, he should be able to run away because he has the space. Taotai doesn't have the power of space to restrict him, right? This is the Ghost Mountain Range. Lin Xian glances inside. It should be a very natural growth of trees and terrain. When he comes to this position, he can clearly feel that the surrounding spiritual energy is more vigorous than in ordinary places. There are iron fences around. It's estimated that someone in the country surrounded this place to prevent the wild animals from running out. It's estimated that it won't be long before this place may develop into a wildlife conservation base. It's good to clean up this place. Since this task has been triggered, it means that Taotai may be born soon. If it's an existence that can't be resisted by human power. If I can solve this place before I leave, it can be regarded as doing a good thing. Lin Xian ponders slightly and then crosses the iron fence. Eye of Cave Spirit. Lin Xian opens the Eye of Cave Spirit, then sees the direction of the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, and gallops towards that position. CKMe? There's definitely a demon beast here. Lin Xian sees a footprint. Could this be the footprint of an animal like a tiger? It's too big. Could it be a demon beast? Chapter 15:12. This place was deserted, and most of the people who came here were dead and had lost contact. Of course, some of the guards had come to investigate, but they couldn't find anything. Since they came to investigate, they must have come in the day, and it must have been a long time ago, because this place had been forbidden for many, many years. The footprints were also quite new. Lin Xian raised his head and looked forward. This demonic beast is probably at least 7 or 8 meters long. Strange, why don't these demonic beasts leave this place? Lin Xian muttered to himself as he walked forward. You will find it very strange. Since there are demonic beasts here, why don't they leave this place? There was nothing around here that could stop them. The fence couldn't even stop a person. How could it stop a demonic beast? However, these demonic beasts were really strange. It was as if they knew that the human world outside was no longer a place that demonic beasts could easily set foot in. It was as if they knew that the human world outside would not allow creatures like them to appear and disturb the peace of the human world. It was really strange. Just like here, including some other places where demonic beasts might appear, it was the same. Demonic beasts definitely existed, but why didn't they appear? This was very strange. It was as if there was a leader in each place, and this leader seemed to understand the current situation on Earth, and forbade them from appearing. Some of the demonic beasts that were discovered by chance might be a small number of demonic beasts that ran out, but because there were so few of them over the years, most people chose not to believe it. They all thought that it was photoshopped. It was the 21st century. Who would still believe this? Strange, it seems to be true. Could it be that the demonic beasts also have an organization on Earth? Lin Xian muttered to himself. It felt very possible. However, it was different from Sky Blue Planet. The demonic beasts on Earth might have disappeared or hidden for many, many years. Perhaps there were only a few places where they could hide and survive, because to be honest, many places on Earth had been set foot on before. Forget it, let's not think about this anymore. Lin Xian looked forward and walked over. Someone's here? Lin Xian suddenly frowned and looked forward. Footprints. Those were human footprints, and they were very new. Moreover, there was more than one pair. It looked like there were at least 4 or 5 people. Are you here to explore? Lin Xian felt that this was a bit idiotic. Whoosh. Lin Xian increased his speed and charged forward. At this moment, in a certain valley ahead, several groups of people had gathered. Ha ha ha. The people of the Kunlun sect are also here? A very young man looked at the people in front of him and said with a smile. All of them were very young. The oldest was about 25 or 26 years old, and there were even 15 or 16 years old. There were both men and women, and they looked like they were here to gain experience. What? Can't we come or what? A man from the Kunlun sect laughed. Of course. Your Kunlun mountain is so far away from here. It must not be easy to come here, right? Wu-Tang sect's eldest senior brother, Wang Ping, said with a smile. Yi Miao, the senior brother of the Kunlun sect, sneered. What era is this? Distance can still be a problem? You guys know how to fly, but we don't? It's just that it takes a little longer. Wang Ping smiled. That's true. Then he looked at the others. The Lin family, the Sun family, so many people are here. You're so nosy. A man walked over and said. The The mission given by the various sects and families is to eliminate all demons and ghosts in Ghost Mountain. He glanced at the crowd and said, "Recently these demons and ghosts have been restless. Some have even appeared in the sight of humans. It won't be long before they riot. When that happens, it will cause chaos in the world. After all, 99% of the people in the world we live in are ordinary people. It's not a good thing for the other world's appearance to be known by everyone." Taoist Wang Qing is right. Clearly, Wang Qing had some status. He was the eldest disciple of Qingyan Monastery, and also the 5th place of the previous martial arts circle convention. The 5th place of this martial arts circle convention was not simple. The martial arts circle convention was held every 3 years. The participants were all geniuses from the various sects, ancient martial arts families, and reclusive families. It was hosted by Kunlun Mountain. The top 10 had great benefits. Of course, the most important thing was the first place. The first place was the current martial arts circle chief. That's right, it was a young man. The martial arts circle chief would be in the position for 3 years. He had great privileges, and was also the main force between the various families and sections. They came together this time because it was said that Ghost Mountain had not been peaceful recently. The spiritual energy was chaotic, and the monsters might riot. Although there were not many monsters, they still needed to be eliminated. Therefore these people had come. Some elders also came, but they did not come with these people. These people were more likely to take advantage of this opportunity to gain experience. After all, they rarely had the chance to fight with monsters. "I heard that the chief is here too?" someone asked. "Yes, I'm on the same flight as the chief. She should be here, right?" Then everyone's eyes fell on a spot. A woman in a simple white dress slowly walked over in the night. "Miss Liu. Chief. Sister Liu." Everyone was stunned when they saw her. Lu Qingzhu. Chapter 15-13. The effect of this talisman was very simple. It could detect the activity of life in the surroundings, and it was the activity of life with spiritual energy. Basically, they were the ones who came here, and they knew it in their hearts. There were about 50 to 60 people, and the rest were some seniors. They were also here, but they were probably searching in another location. And now, the answer given to them by the talisman he had released was 50 to 60 of them were surrounded. There were signs of life with spiritual energy in all directions, and they seemed to be gradually closing in on them. Not good. Did we fall into a trap? Yi Miao frowned and said, "Impossible. How did these demonic beasts know we were coming? I reckon that when we stepped into this place, we were discovered by these demonic beasts, and then they surrounded us. Did any of you encounter any demonic beasts along the way?" They shook their heads. "Miss Liu, what do you think we should do now?" Lu Qingzhu stretched out her hand, and a sword appeared in her palm. She did not say anything, but her actions had already explained everything. Yi Miao said, "Didn't we come here to clean up these demonic beasts? If they gather together, it will save us a lot of trouble, won't it?" "That's right. I think these demonic beasts have their heads, but what's the use? We came here to clean up the demonic beasts, so why should we be afraid of them?" Then they all prepared to fight in the valley. "It's here." Their gazes were fixed ahead. "Dark venom spider? What? There are still dark venom spiders now?" Someone saw a black spider that was about the size of 3 or 4 people. And his pupil shrank. Maybe it's a demonic beast from a long time ago, and it just appeared recently. The news was right, this ghost mountain is indeed not safe. Everyone be careful, these demonic beasts are much stronger than the ones we usually encounter. Lu Qingzhu's beautiful eyes narrowed, and she directly rushed forward. "Everyone, let's go." On the other side, Lin Xian also arrived at a place not far from here. F***CK. Lin Xian looked ahead, and the sound of battle was very obvious. Is this a group fight between demonic beasts or something? Why are there so many of them? Lin Xian was shocked. This scene was nothing on Sky Blue Planet, but on Earth it really shocked Lin Xian. What the hell is going on? Is Earth going to be unstable? Could it be that he was going to take the path of Sky Blue? Lin Xian didn't know. Then Lin Xian sped away. When Lin Xian arrived at the top of the canyon, he looked down. F***ck? There were about 40 people, and the ground was littered with the corpses of countless demonic beasts. There were all kinds of demonic beasts, and those people were besieged by these demonic beasts. As for the realm, Lin Xian took a look. Most of them were in the arcane body realm. Some were in the arcane heaven realm, and one of them was very strong. He seemed to have reached the law realm. They all looked very young. Yet they had reached the law realm at such a young age. Furthermore, they were from Earth. They were not simple. However, these demonic beasts weren't simple either. It was even more terrifying than Lin Xian had imagined. Putting aside the number of demonic beasts, these demonic beasts were generally in the arcane body realm and arcane heaven realm. There were even a few law realm demonic beasts. Lin Xian was shocked. This was much stronger than he had imagined. I remember that 3 years ago, the situation wasn't like this, right? In these 3 years, Earth has also changed a lot. Lin Xian was secretly speechless. This is bad. These demonic beasts are much stronger than we imagined. Yi Miao shouted, then suddenly waved the sword in her hand. A flame flickered, and a demonic beast in front of her was cut in half. Are we going to retreat? There are already people who are seriously injured, and some have even died. Wang Ping yelled. I think it's better to retreat. At this moment, Lu Qingzhu pointed the sword in her hand to the sky. Above the void, dark clouds gathered, and lightning fell on the tip of the sword. Lightning flash. Whoosh rumble. In an instant, dozens of demonic beasts were annihilated, and the pressure on everyone was greatly reduced. Leave the strong ones to me. You guys deal with the rest. Lu Qingzhu said indifferently, and rushed toward the 2 law realm demonic beasts in front of her. So strong. Everyone was secretly speechless when they saw Lu Qingzhu. Lin Xian took a deep breath. F***ck. So strong. This kind of strength was normal on Sky Blue Planet. But on Earth, Lin Xian was really a little surprised. About half an hour later, all the demonic beasts were cleared. Everyone stood there, sat there, and even lay there, gasping for breath. Lin Xian did not make a move, and there was no need for him to make a move. Whoosh! At this moment, a bolt of lightning directly rushed toward Lin Xian. There's more. Everyone saw Lu Qingzhu suddenly make a move, and then their eyes fell on the position above the canyon. Boom! Lin Xian's figure flickered, and then he descended from the sky and landed beside them. At first, they were vigilant, but when they saw that it was a person who came down, they relaxed. Hey, look carefully before you attack. Lin Xian shrugged and said, Sorry. Lu Qingzhu said indifferently, and then put away the sword in her hand. Brother, you've been up there for a long time, right? What do you mean? We're fighting a bloody battle below, and you're watching the show from above. Why don't you come down and help? Yi Miao looked at Lin Xian and said coldly. Lin Xian shrugged, then lit a cigarette and said, I'm not friends with you, and I'm not partners. There's no need for me to help, right? We can't be so moral blackmailing, right? Hee hee, then what are you here for? I'm just here to take a look, that's all. Lin Xian shrugged. Then I hope you can keep watching. Yi Miao said coldly. Lin Xian shrugged, and then walked in a certain direction. This place has been cleared, but there might be other places. Lu Qingzhu said and then walked away, and the direction she walked was also the direction Lin Xian went. Lin Xian opened his eye of cave spirit, and found that the place he was looking for was in this valley. Soon Lin Xian came to a position, and Lu Qingzhu also came behind Lin Xian. She didn't follow Lin Xian, so she didn't care too much. She just felt that this valley wasn't simple, and the spiritual power of heaven and earth seemed to be getting more and more vigorous. She even had the illusion that a spiritual item of heaven and earth was about to be born. Then, she saw Lin Xian standing in a position. Lin Xian extended his hand and placed it on the mountain. Then, with a surge of energy, he pushed it forward. Boom! A loud sound was heard, and when the dust settled, a cave appeared in front of them. Lu Qingzhu. Lin Xian walked in directly. What's going on? What's that sound? Those people ran over and saw the cave. There's a strong spiritual power of heaven and earth gushing out from here. Could there be treasures in this cave? Everyone was excited. Chapter 15:14. On Earth, it was very difficult to encounter opportunities in heaven and earth spiritual items. Because of the place, there was no heaven and earth spiritual energy, so it was not easy to derive some things. Basically, whatever treasure your family had, you would have at most that treasure. That was basically it. Therefore, when they saw such a cave, they all showed an excited expression. Damn, there was a cave here? And there was a powerful heaven and earth spiritual energy coming from inside? Lu Qingzhu frowned. How did he know there was a cave here? Actually, the cave had nothing to do with it. However, this cave did not feel like a simple place. He directly walked over and went straight to it. Does this place look any different from other places? Or was it that he knew this place very well? This cave had heaven and earth spiritual energy gushing out. It was definitely not simple inside. At least there were treasures inside, and there might even be danger. I think it's still necessary to contact the elders of the family and tell them about the situation here. Most of them were still vigilant. Yes, I also think it's necessary. After all, we don't have any experience in this kind of situation. Then they took out their phones and contacted the elders of the family, telling them about the situation here. The elders of the family clearly told them not to go in and wait for them to come. However, Lu Qingzhu went in. When Lu Qingzhu went in, many people frowned. They realized that Lu Qingzhu had gone in, so this Lu Qingzhu was a very smart woman in their eyes. Since she had chosen to go in, and her strength was strong enough, there should not be too much of a problem. Moreover, humans were greedy. They all knew that there must be good things inside. However, when they saw that someone had already gone in and they could not go in, they could not bear it. They thought, what if the treasure inside fell into the hands of that person and Lu Qingzhu? Then, would they not be able to get anything? Danger? Would they die inside? What if they did not? What if they did not? This was the inner thought of a normal person. That's right, they too. If only Lin Xian went in, it would be fine. However, if Lu Qingzhu went in, they would not be able to hold on. I want to go in and take a look. Yi Miao said. Why don't we go in and take a look? Let's go together and take care of each other. There shouldn't be any problems. The elders of our respective clans should be here soon. Let's go explore the path first. I think it's fine. Go. On the other side, Lin Xian was walking in a natural cave. So big. Lin Xian raised his head and looked around. This cave really looked natural, but Lin Xian knew that it wasn't. The cave was very large. Even the walls, the ceiling, and the ground were very beautiful stones that emitted light, adding to the brilliance of the place. And because Lin Xian had activated his Eye of Cave Spirit, he knew where to go. Behind him, Lu Qingzhu walked over. She was also very surprised as she sized up everything around her. She looked up, looked left and right, and walked forward, bang. Then she bumped into Lin Xian's back. She didn't look ahead. She only took a glance before. She knew that there were no obstacles ahead, so she didn't look ahead. Instead, she kept looking around. Lin Xian. I'm sorry. Lu Qingzhu quickly took a step back. Lin Xian looked at her. This girl is so beautiful. I want to kiss her lips until they're swollen. It's okay. Beautiful girls have the right to be forgiven when they make mistakes. Lin Xian grinned and said. Lu Qingzhu. She thought that she didn't make a mistake, right? How did you know that there's such a cave here? This was what Lu Qingzhu was very surprised about. She swore that she couldn't see it with the naked eye. As for the equipment, no one had checked it before. It was very difficult to sense the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Moreover, he didn't have any equipment on him. He just walked in directly. In her eyes, this was very unusual. Men have a natural sensitivity to caves. Lin Xian said. Lu Qingzhu. She seemed to understand the meaning of this sentence. After all, she was a modern woman from the 21st century. Moreover, according to normal logic, shouldn't you come up and introduce yourself? Then I'll introduce myself? Lin Xian looked at her with a smile. Lu Qingzhu. Lin Xian frowned. Lu Qingzhu. Why do I remember hearing about you before? Lin Xian pondered for a moment. Lu Qingzhu wasn't surprised to hear Lin Xian's words. As a warrior, it was normal for him to have heard of her name. This wasn't because she was conceited, but because her name was more exposed in the martial arts world. After all, she was the leader of the martial arts world. However, Lin Xian was very surprised. He had been away for 3 years, and he didn't know much about the martial arts world on Earth. At most, he knew a few big families, which families were very strong, and which families were the strongest. However, he actually felt that the name of someone from the same generation as him was somewhat familiar. This really surprised Lin Xian. But now Lin Xian couldn't think of anything at all. Lin Xian. Lin Xian said. Lin family? Lu Qingzhu asked. Oh, that's not it. Lin Xian shook his head. Your surname is Lin, so you're a member of the Lin family? If your surname is Lu, can you still be a member of the Lu family? Lin Xian said with a smile. Lu Qingzhu. This person didn't seem to know her? Lin Xian then continued to walk forward. Lu Qingzhu also followed behind Lin Xian, because this was the only way to go. Little sister, you don't have a boyfriend yet, right? Lin Xian lit a cigarette and asked with a smile. No. Lu Qingzhu replied faintly. Then why don't we try being together? Lin Xian asked with a smile. No need, thank you. Sigh, I've seen a lot of girls like you. All of them are very cold. You're not young anymore. It's time for you to find a partner. When your parents were your age, they probably already had you. Even if you don't think for yourself, you have to think for your parents. Lin Xian said with a sigh. Lu Qingzhu. Suddenly Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. Why? The cigarette in his hand suddenly fluttered. This seemed to be normal, but it wasn't. This was because in that instant, Lin Xian did not feel a sudden increase in the wind. In fact, there was no wind at all. This was momentum. Lin Xian was 120% vigilant. Because he knew that Tao Tai was here, he would be even more vigilant. Here. Chapter 15:15. Lin Xian suddenly made his move. Lightning gathered in his hand and blasted upwards. Boom! Then a black spider over 5 meters long was blasted down by Lin Xian. Lu Qingzhu. To be honest, she didn't even notice. This person called Lin Xian seemed to be quite powerful. And he was actually at the Mystic Heaven Realm 5 stars. Logically speaking, she should know who he was. Reaching the Mystic Heaven Realm 5 stars at such a young age was very impressive. Moreover, he should have a background. If he didn't have a background, it would be very difficult for him to cultivate to this level. Moreover, he had the lightning attribute, but she knew nothing about him. This was really strange. Could it be some hidden family? That was also possible. Not small. Lin Xian walked over and blasted open the head of the beast with a punch. He took out the demon crystal inside. This was a Mystic Heaven Realm demonic beast. For the current Lin Xian, refining its Mystic Heaven Realm demonic beast would bring him many benefits. Lu Qingzhu frowned slightly as she looked at Lin Xian. As long as one was a warrior, they would have a natural fear of demon beasts. This was especially true for demon beasts that looked very scary. This was because they had very little contact with demon beasts. Lu Qingzhu also had very little contact with demon beasts. She would also be afraid. This was human nature. However, this Lin Xian was not afraid at all. At first, Lu Qingzhu thought he was faking it, but there was really no fear in his eyes. Moreover, wasn't he afraid that the beast was poisonous? Wasn't he afraid that the beast was faking its death? Wasn't he afraid of the beast's terrifying appearance? Wasn't it disgusting to explode its head? This was the difference between Earth and Sky Blue Planet. On Sky Blue Planet, humans had zero contact with demonic beasts and could meet them every day. On Earth, even for a martial artist, they might not meet demonic beasts more than a few times in their lifetime. The way they treated demonic beasts was indeed different. Do you want it? Lin Xian asked politely. Lu Qingzhu quickly shook her head. I don't want anything good. Lin Xian shook his head. Suddenly his eyes narrowed. Be careful, there's a situation. Lu Qingzhu's ears twitched slightly. Then she took out her spiritual weapon. In front of them, a black mass of huge spiders, some on the walls, some on the ground, were crawling quickly towards them. Lu Qingzhu's aura surged. She was afraid of demonic beasts only because she was a human. As a woman, she was naturally afraid of demonic beasts that looked very scary and disgusting. If you were like those demonic beasts that were similar to tigers and lions, you wouldn't be afraid of them at all. If you were a spider, mouse, or cockroach, you would be afraid. However, although she was afraid, she was only afraid of the visual impact. She was not afraid of anything else. Whoosh! Lu Qingzhu's delicate body was wrapped in lightning as she rushed forward. This Earth could indeed be the lower plane of the sky blue planet. Not only is the martial arts well known, but the general strength and the number of beasts, even the martial arts and spiritual weapons are very different. On Earth, weapons and spiritual weapons are probably at the peak of the heavenly level, not to mention the divine level and holy level spiritual weapons. Maybe the Xianyuan sword has reached the holy level? After all, it's one of the few divine weapons passed down from ancient times. It's possible. Lin Xian looked at Lu Qingzhu, who was in the middle of a battle, and muttered to himself. The reason why there were so few spiritual weapons was because there were no blacksmiths who could create high-grade spiritual weapons, so they could not be passed down. This was indeed a lower plane. Was there a higher plane above the sky blue planet? Lin Xian did not know. Lin Xian had to figure out many things about this. Not bad. He's in his 20s and he's already in the law realm. He should be one of the best on Earth, right? I think many of the old guys on Earth are probably in the law realm. No, since someone in his 20s is in the law realm, doesn't that mean that the slightly more powerful old guys are in the law realm, domain, and even heavenly venerables? Lin Xian frowned. On this Earth, heavenly venerables were probably the limit, and there were probably not many heavenly venerables. Then he should not be able to defeat a heavenly venerables at the mysterious heaven realm, right? Then if he reached the law realm, would he be able to defeat a heavenly venerables? The difference of two realms. However, Lin Xian's advantage was that his law realm and domain were stronger than anyone else's. He also had the system that doubled his power, as well as higher-grade spiritual weapons and martial skills. However, Lin Xian really did not understand the strength of this place. However, he should think about it when his realm was higher. It was too dangerous. Although Lin Xian was only in the mysterious heaven realm, he could use law realm and domain. After all, Lin Xian had law realm and domain. It was just that it might not be easy to use them. After all, Lin Xian's spiritual energy was very dense. Whoosh! Seeing that Lu Qingzhu was gradually becoming more difficult to fight, Lin Xian also rushed in. These demonic beasts' realms had all reached the mysterious heaven realm, which shocked Lu Qingzhu. This place, this ghost mountain, what kind of place was it? Originally, the demonic beasts she had seen were at the mysterious body realm. There were actually so many mysterious heaven realm demonic beasts here. And there were even law realm demonic beasts. This place should be the place with the highest quality of demonic beasts she had ever seen. It was not simple. If there were more demonic beasts here, she even felt that it might bring a certain impact to the martial world. Why are there so many? Lu Qingzhu frowned. Lin Xian glanced at it. Damn, it was a little too much. Step back. Lin Xian said. What are you going to do? Damn, how can a woman talk so much nonsense? Just step back. Lu Qingzhu. Then she retreated again and again. Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison. Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison. Grade. Heaven Stage 1 star. Self-created Heaven Stage martial skill by Void Fox Linglong Shui. As the Void Fox clan, the king of space, her self-created martial skill can be said to be heaven-defying. Effect. Release a powerful Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison, which has the power of destruction and a strong attraction force. Once the target is sucked in, it will cause an irreversible destruction effect. The size, strength, and attraction force of the Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison are related to the strength of the release. Although the Myriad Bait Heavenly Prison was only a 1-star Heaven tier martial skill, as a spatial attribute martial skill, you couldn't use a grade to describe it. Spatial and time attributes, these two great attributes basically didn't have any martial skills. Therefore, this Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison was extremely terrifying. Lin Xian condensed the Myriad Induction Heavenly Prison at that location. And then the many demonic beasts in front of him were all sucked in. Lu Qingzhu. A wormhole in space? She revealed a shocked expression. This person, could it be that he had a space attribute? That was a legendary attribute. Or could it be that this was condensed from some kind of spirit weapon? She didn't know. She was very shocked. Chapter 15-16. The difference between Earth and Sky Blue Star was quite big. On Earth, the strongest attribute was basically lightning. On Earth, there were almost no space and time attributes. On Sky Blue Star, at least time and space attributes were the rarest, but you could still often see them among many geniuses. However, on Earth, you could not see time and space attributes at all. Therefore, when Lin Xian released the Myriad Attraction Heavenly Prison, Lu Qingzhu was very, very shocked. If it was the space attribute, then it would be even more shocking. Moreover, she did not know that the space attribute would have martial skills. It might be more of a power released by some kind of spatial spirit tool. Lin Xian felt that the Myriad Attraction Heavenly Prison had consumed almost half of his spiritual energy. F***ck. I can't hold on. With this low realm, you can't use this kind of top-notch big move easily. Why are there so many high-grade demon beasts here? Lu Qingzhu's attention was now on this. In this ghost mountain, she had seen no less than 200 mysterious heaven realm demon beasts, and there were even law realm demon beasts. This kind of number was very terrifying. Normally, it was already very rare to see 3 to 5 mysterious heaven realm demon beasts. 200 on Earth. She was sure that at least in the recent 100 years, such a situation had never happened. And the most exaggerated thing was that with so many high-grade demon beasts, were you really going to stay in this ghost mountain and not go out to cause trouble? That fence could not stop these demon beasts. So strange. Really strange. It's a bit exaggerated. Lin Xian frowned. But he might know a little more because Taotai was here. As for why those demon beasts did not go out, there might be 2 reasons. They did not dare to go out. Maybe there were demon beasts here ordering them and controlling them. Maybe there was a leader of these demon beasts, or maybe they were unwilling to go out. No matter if you were a demon beast or something else, you always needed to cultivate, and to cultivate, you needed heaven and earth spiritual energy. Other than here, it would be difficult to find another place with this kind of heaven and earth spiritual energy. Moreover, there was enough food here. There were many wild animals and even demon beasts that could be hunted. I suggest that we wait for the seniors of the major sects to come over and go in together. Lu Qingzhu said. Here so many demonic beasts had inexplicably rushed out. What about inside? Who knew what was inside? In any case, she had never seen a place like this. Up to you. After Lin Xian finished speaking, he walked inside. Okay. Lu Qingzhu shouted. What's up? You'll die if you go in. Lu Qingzhu frowned as she looked at Lin Xian and said. Since little sister doesn't like me, I'll just die. Goodbye. With that, Lin Xian walked in. Lu Qingzhu. She froze on the spot. Why did he have to go in? And how did he manage to find this place? Could it be that he was familiar with this place? After thinking about it, Lu Qingzhu quickly followed him. Behind him, a group of people also arrived. F***ck. They saw that this place had been emptied. There seems to have been a great battle here. Experienced a great battle? What about the corpse of the demonic beast? Could it be that Qingzhu was captured by a demonic beast? Suddenly, someone realized this. Quick! Go in and save Qingzhu. The experts from our various sects will be here soon. Go and save Qingzhu. Their thoughts were simple. Lu Qingzhu was stronger than them, but if they were lucky enough to save her, wouldn't that mean? Then, a group of people quickly rushed over. Lin Xian and Lu Qingzhu arrived at a huge space. This space shocked Lu Qingzhu. Lin Xian might not understand, but she knew. 5 divine beasts, divine formation. There's something sealed here. Lu Qingzhu looked around and saw the majestic statues of the azure dragon, white tiger, black tortoise, vermilion bird, and Qilin standing in a special position. She recognized that this was the 5 divine beasts' divine formation. How do you know? Lin Xian looked at Lu Qingzhu. Lu Qingzhu revealed a shocked expression. There's actually such a secret here? I've seen it before. The five divine beasts' divine formation is a large formation that borrows the power of the five divine beasts. It can prevent all evil forces from invading, and at the same time, it can prevent all powerful forces from attacking. Generally speaking, a place where the five divine beasts' divine formation exists proves that there's a powerful force or a powerful treasure sealed behind it. In short, the person who set up this five divine beasts' divine formation hopes that no matter how many people discover this place in the future, they won't be able to break through this place. Lu Qingzhu said. Is it very powerful? Very powerful. Even a heavenly venerable will die in the five divine beasts' divine formation. Lu Qingzhu said. Then she looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes and said, We can't go any further. Lin Xian asked, Will we definitely die? In a sense, yes. Lin Xian smirked. Step back, learn and watch. Lu Qingzhu was speechless. What are you doing? Lin Xian then walked forward. Swish, swish, swish. As if sensing Lin Xian's existence, the five statues flashed at the same time. This time, it seemed to be a warning. However, Lin Xian did not stop and continued to walk forward. It's over. Lu Qingzhu looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes in shock. They were dead meat. This time, the martial Dao light completely rose. Swish, swish, swish. The martial Dao light fell beside Lin Xian. The phantoms of the azure dragon, white tiger, black tortoise, vermilion bird and qilin appeared there. Lin Xian glanced at the five especially noble and divine phantoms, and the corners of his mouth curled up as he said, No matter how formidable and divine you seem, all of you are just fake. All of you are just energy that has been condensed with energy. All of you are just formations. No matter what kind of formation it is, there must be a way to break it. Lin Xian then opened his eye of cave spirit. He found the way to break the formation. He destroyed the five phantoms. Lin Xian was speechless. That's right. This was something that Lin Xian did not expect. What the F***ck? Could it be that the way to break the formation was not to destroy a formation core? Wasn't it the same as not having a way to break the formation? F***ck. Something's wrong, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Lin Xian sensed that these five phantoms had the cultivation of a heavenly venerable. Although they were only phantoms, these heavenly venerables should be genuine. F***ck. What should he do? Retreat? This was Lin Xian's thought, but F***ck retreat. He could not retreat. Swish, swish, swish. Several roars were heard, and then five terrifying phantoms of divine beasts rushed toward Lin Xian, determined to kill Lin Xian here. Lin Xian miserably activated Carefree under the heavens, and continued to flee. Fortunately, Carefree under the heavens gave him a terrifying speed, but it consumed spiritual power. What should he do? You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.